split is right. And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. I just realized right now that I made a whoopsie. So the latency from last week to this week, normally I have it on low latency, and I meant to switch it to low again. I did not switch it. And the second you hit go live, I remembered like as it was counting down. So if there is something we're doing and you type in chat and we don't react to it right away, or so, like there's just gonna be a few more seconds. I don't know what the exact time is, but a few more seconds of delay. So just be aware of that up front. I apologize, and I'll try to get it fixed before the next stream. But anyways, happy Wednesday, everyone. We are continuing with our VZBot 235 stream build series. This is episode 4, I think. Yeah, episode 4.
Yes.
Episode 4. Let's see, who's all here today? We've got Nice is in the house, Aaron, Tuxedo. I saw Vez was here. Thank you for joining us, Simon.
Absolutely.
John, Delmar. Delmar's here. Isaiah. Panzer's in the house too.
How's our audio
Yes, that is the first thing. Please let us know how the audio sounds, because
is it better?
Steve and I, after last week, tried to figure out what was going on with his audio, and I think that we found what the issue was. So let us know if Steve sounds more like he should. Low is better, less buff. Oh, really? Less buffering? Okay. Oh, low latency is better than normal. Gotcha. Okay. Let us know how audio sounds. Hopefully it's good. Bez, thank you very much for the 50 Canadian. Cheers. We're happy to have you here, man. We're also super excited to be building your baby. So cool. Audio's good. Audio's great. Awesome. That is
PB here again. Do we have anyone else from the VZBot team?
Audio's good.
Audio's good.
Good. Did
awesome.
you PID tune Steve's audio? Yes, John. That is exactly right. So I guess, man, I'm trying to think of what our normal intro has been like for this. Do you want to say hi, Steve, and then I'll go into a little bit more of this stuff?
I'm going to say hi, Steve, and were you going to get into just the normal thanks and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to say hi and then let you get to it.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, I just wanted to give a thank you both to Mellow and its 3D print. I keep mixing up.
Print3d Shop.
Print3d Shop. So
Print3d
Shop and Mellow for providing the kits for this build series. I've got links to both Print3d's web store where you can pick up the 330 or 235, as well as Mellow's website, which is on AliExpress if you want to go through Mellow. But they provided the kits for this build series and made this possible, so definitely want to say a major thank you to them. And if you're interested in finding out more about these, check those links out in the description. Also, we are going to be doing our weekly Polymaker filament giveaway, so thank you to Polymaker, and we'll do that. That'll open up in an hour and a half. So nice, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Happy Wednesday.
Someone said my audio's out of sync, but I don't think there's anything we can do about that.
Your audio looks
my
good
audio
to me.
versus sync. I think I can see it in the Skype.
Oh, slightly lower, someone's saying, which is possible. That could be possible, but I don't think, like, when I see you coming through, if there's a delay,
I see a little bit of out of sync when I'm looking at the Skype previews. So, but I don't think we can do anything about that.
Okay, yeah, I don't think so either. At least I wouldn't know how to adjust it now. I'll bump you. Yeah. Let me see if I can bump you up. So you're at -2 decibels. I'll make you 0 decibels. Okay, awesome. Steve's a hair louder than he was. What Polymaker filament do you print the most? As of lately, the Galaxy ABS or ASA. But honestly, even their standard ASA, I print a lot of. That's what's printing. You probably can't hear it, but that's what I'm printing right now for a V0 build mod that I've got going on right now. PF Dennis, thank you very much for the 10 memberships. Thank you. Cheers. It's like almost in sync kung fu movie.
It's close enough.
Yeah,
we're good. You're going to talk a whole lot more than me anyway.
This is true, as I do. So I want to talk about first the game plan for today, which the game plan is to finish up the tool head. So last week, I'll show like an overhead really quick here, but last week we routed belts and we got the cage installed and a few more things. But after stream, Steve discovered a couple of things. Well, Steve discovered one thing, and then I think it was Vez or PB that discovered the other thing. And so one thing that happened is that when we, and jump in anytime, Steve, if I'm missing part of it. I want like make
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no problem.
when we took apart the axe beam to grease the linear rails, there are these little CNC'd spacers that sit between the the bearings of the linear rails and the CNC'd part that holds on to the. There's a lot of sounds happening. Sorry, it's from the members. There's a spacer between the linear rail block and the CNC part that holds the carbon fiber beam. And what both Steve and I didn't realize, maybe because we were live or just an oversight, we both did the exact same thing, is that.
I have a feeling it might have come from Mellow that way too.
Okay. Yeah, it's possible that they ship this way, but these spacers are not square. They are rectangle, and we did not see that. And so if anyone saw, I think it was, last week's stream where I told Steve, hey, one of my belts is sort of at an angle, and Steve said mine too. Well, the reason for that is because it's not square and it's rectangle, the way we had the spacer turned made it where the belt didn't have quite as much spacing in between here. And so these little blocks that you can maybe kind of see up here, since they're rectangular, you want the long ways to be horizontal and not vertical. If they're vertical, then the extra length is going to be pushing into the belt. And so we, after last week's stream, had to take apart the X, or basically the CNC parts, and flip that
rotate it 90 degrees.
Yep. Yeah, rotate it 90 degrees. So that is something that is really important to check because, again, it's not a mirrored piece. It's rectangular, so it does matter the orientation. So that was the first thing. The second thing that we were told, I think it was PB, maybe Vez, that showed us, is the way we had routed belts was actually incorrect on the backside. And the reason was we were following, since we were using a combination of the 330's instructions and the 235, I think that we were watching the 330's, right? I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah.
Is that we were watching the 330's thing. And so the issue was, the way we had routed the belts previously was that we had the belt going from outside in on the backside here. Holy cow, Nathan. Thank you very much for the 50 gifted membership.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. That's incredible. Please, everybody, thank you everyone for the gifted memberships. That's nuts. So we initially, going with what we saw on the 330, had the belts going from outside inside, and it was very subtle. But once it was brought to our attention, we saw that by doing that, the belt wasn't parallel, not perfectly parallel to the back of the carbon rod. It was slightly kinked, which maybe would have been fine, but once it was brought to our attention and Vez showed us the two methods of routing the belt, we ended up redoing it because we wanted to do it right. So instead of doing that, the belts go basically underneath or behind the CNC'd part, or the back plate, and then they tuck here. On this side, I did the exact same thing where I ran it the whole way, but Steve let me know that there's actually a pocket inside here where you don't have to run the belt the entire way. But luckily, we had enough extra Gates belts from other projects where we were able to do this, because there was not enough. After last week's stream, we did not have enough belts. You didn't either, right, Steve? You had to use other belts? Or did you
I had to grab an extra belt, yep.
Yeah, so we did not
trimmed
have
it too
enough
close. That's
length.
why.
Yep.
So on last week's stream, I pinned a comment saying, hey, we did some things wrong in the belting. And I put a link to Vez's video on how to belt the 250, just to hopefully clear that up for anybody watching this later.
So those are the two things that we've done from last week's stream. This week's stream.
That's a lot of members.
It's absolute chaos. Thank you, everybody. Someone said, I think that based off their calculations, everybody watching is a member. I'm like, I think that could be very, very much so correct at this point. So yeah, those are the only two things that we've done.
Scott's here from China.
Oh, what? Hey, Scott, thank you for stopping by. I did see that both him and Sam had landed safely and are up to their shenanigans over there. So yeah, I think those are the main two things that we changed and the things we wanted to point out. Steve, is there anything else that you're thinking of that might be worth?
I think we're intentionally not doing final tension on the belts now.
Yep.
Because once the machine is able to be powered up and running is when you sync up the steppers in the all-wheel drive gantry setup. And you can't do that until you can energize the steppers. So final belt alignment and tension is not going to be done yet.
Yep.
So.
Hey Lewis, Major Gamer, thank you for 6 months, 6-month hype. I think I've got. Oh no, do I have 1 sec? I'm gonna see if I've got. I don't know if they can hear that, but I've got air horns. I'm not sure if that
I heard it.
Okay, sick. Yeah, so the original plan was that we were going to be tensioning the belts now, because when Steve and I were talking last week, Steve had mentioned, and I agree, that in theory, it is easier to do belt things when we don't have the entire toolhead on here. But I don't think either of us have done an all-wheel drive setup before, and so yeah, as part of that, having the motors locked in place is the requirement to make sure that things are basically tuned correctly. So due to that, we are going to be moving forward without tensioning the belts. I mean, they're also, just so everyone is aware, and I don't know how much yours are, but mine are pretty heavily pre-tensioned. Like I don't think, like I pulled pretty good on the back side of that cage when I was pulling them through. So I don't know how. I mean, I'm sure again they're going to need some tension, but they are certainly not loose at this point.
Something that I just noticed, and now with the way this is intended to be belted, maybe if I can take.
Yeah. There you go.
So with the way this is intended to be belted, all the talk about having equal length belts gets thrown out the window. Because the belt here on the right side of or the left side of the tool head takes a shorter path than the one on the right. So what I've done is I took a couple of the stoppers that come with the linear rails, and I put them in a spot so that I can at least when I'm hand tensioning these, see if I've tweaked the gantry to any degree. And what I just noticed as you were talking is one of my pulleys up here on the front, the belt was riding on the edge of the pulley instead of in the center. So that's putting me basically a full tooth out of the tension on one side. So while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to pull an extra tooth this way so that they're about the same. We still want them all to be
as close as possible.
Yeah, as close as possible when we go to do the final tensioning. And that way, when we use the front steppers there to do that final tensioning, they'll end up at about the same spot. Your belt lengths will be exactly the same. That'll have an impact, a slight impact on input shaper results, and that kind of thing.
So, if you do it sort of incorrect like me though, and route the belt entirely across the cage on both sides, you can do the same. Yeah, because I'm looking right now and I cut them identical, and if I look at the amount of teeth sticking out from both sides, I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've got exact. So yeah. I mean, I didn't even. That wasn't why I did that. I just didn't realize that when Vez had shown it, or like I didn't even think about going through the pocket. But
yeah, with mine now pre-tensioned, I've got about the same loose tension on both. So I feel like when I adjust it in the front now, it's going to be about the same.
Cool. Yeah, I tried pretty hard to do
one
that.
Suggestion, I think, for a future revision of this CNC head is to just put a slot there so you can do the same on both sides. I mean, you don't see the VZBot logo in the back anyway, and that's what's machined into the back.
Gotcha. That's why there's a spot on one, not the other. I can't even see it because my belts and the Running Man or dancing guy is over it.
It looks like we have close to 10 millimeters of adjustment, John, which is way more than we need.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
But they did show too when we were talking to PB that if you have to fully tighten it right now, it rubs on the front acrylic, so you don't want to have to fully tighten it. So, but yeah, I mean, you've still got a lot of. I think that what they were saying was that only at max tension does it become an issue with rubbing. So as long as you do some pre-tensioning, like when you're doing those back belts, it shouldn't be an issue.
Yep. So I'm leaving all my belts fully. I'm not cutting them at all yet. They might get in the way a little bit, but I'm leaving
I had
mine.
no choice.
And I
Steve.
may even fold these back like this and put a zip tie in the middle, because that's going to be behind this whole ducting thing anyway. So I can leave a lot to grab onto and do any maintenance later.
Yeah, I didn't have that. That's, I guess,
Aaron.
luck.
Aaron in chat.
Happy stream day, everyone. Oh, cool. So let me go here to show the side. So when we found out about this, and I realized that the belts that came with the kit I'd cut too short, I ran around the house like a crazy person trying to see if I had belts, and I had non-Gates belts, I had clone Gates belts, and I had snippets of true Gates belts scattered everywhere. And so I was able to find, this is the longest Gates belt I had in the house. I had 2 of them cut exactly this length. Must have been from a future project. So it ended up like, I mean, seriously, I guess with this one, if I'd gone through the slot, I had a little bit more slack. But for this one, it was like, it was the printer god smiling down on me, you know, like, because normally it's not that way. And I was worried about how am I going to get Gates belts here, you know, maybe Amazon or something like that. So Steve had offered on, I think on Sunday, like, if you need Gates belts, let me know, I can ship you some quick. So yeah, but today we are going to be continuing, and I think that the next thing is going to be just doing a little bit more stuff on the cage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Real quick, I think a good number, if you just wanted to have a measurement of how much belt you needed for this, if you had 1.5 meters of belt, I measured, you can get away with as low as like 1430.
Yeah.
But if you said 1500 is the length of belt, you would have enough to loop things around and be just fine.
I think that in the video that Vez had, he said like 15 centimeters, which would be exactly that, or I think he said 13 for the shorter one, maybe the one that you can go through that loophole or whatever. So
yeah, you can get a little shorter there. Yep,
I did exactly what you said, which I believe again was 1500 millimeters. So
yeah,
that should be the perfect amount. Hey, Maze.
Cut this belt in 2 would have had a ton of waste.
Yes.
I mean, cutting it to 1.5 meters in each would have still left enough left over for another project later.
Yeah, I think
it's nice to have usable
totally.
lengths of belt left over, like you just found out.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. If I had done what I did, if I had done what I was going to do with this one on those other projects, I wouldn't have probably had that belt. So, yeah, I agree. Definitely cutting the belt in half is not. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so continuing today.
That's what I need to do. No, go ahead. Keep going.
So continuing today on the gantry, we've got everything done up until the print head. And over here, I see Charlie moving.
Yeah.
Over here, let's see, this is where we left off. So we did this last week. We did the cage last week. We did the end stop. I did verify too. I know you, Steve, because we didn't mount the end stop, we just mounted the CNC bracket, and I did verify. It looks like there's plenty of space with the extruder mounted on top to still be able to remove that later, because we'll need to be able to access the end stop. Yeah, so I know you had said that because the adjustment screws are there, it made sense, but I confirmed it when I was playing around with things. Awesome. So running man is in place. Belts are installed, but we're not tensioning them. Okay, so this is where we are. And this we saw is slightly different than the blower fan that comes, or the shroud that comes in the kit. There must have been a revision. Like, it looks like this is a unibody with the standoffs, which might not be the case. But definitely the overall shape of this piece is different. So let me move this printer out of the way. Let's see, let me grab the actual shroud.
I gotta find my printed parts too. Here they are.
All right. Okay, so this is the shroud that comes in this kit. Or, I'm sorry, this doesn't come in the kit. This came in our ASA VZ program, which I'm assuming is the latest revision. Hey, what's up, Luke? How's the high temp VZBot going, Maze? Hey, new nose here. So yeah, it's a slightly different looking, those are separate spacers. Okay, so in the photo, it's just, they look like one, but they are separate, which our kit did come with. Hopefully yours did too, right? You have the standoff, Steve?
Yeah, I'm looking for them.
Okay.
I'm certain I've seen them. I just have to figure out which bag they were in.
So this is the part that we're going to be using, and then we've seen two things. So in the in the instructions here, they show, was it here or was it in the, yes. So here it shows to use heat inserts, and the kit doesn't come with, any heat inserts. But we did see in another version, I think it was in the GitHub, that you can also use just M3 nuts on the other side, possibly. But we are going to use heat inserts. We checked that duct is fine, but normally used for, that duct is fine, but normally used for when you have the Goliath short with the water-cooled hex short. Oh, interesting.
So the EZVZ folks may need to be instructed on a correction
like
here.
I'm still going to use this because, again, if I'm going to be installing a auto bed leveling at some point on this, I'm probably going to have to reprint a different duct anyway, I would imagine. But that is good to know. I mean, he says it's fine, but that is good to know, and that's probably why it looks different than the instructions. So I'm going to grab just a couple of heat inserts. Let's see.
It will still work fine. Okay. And I can't actually find my little spacers there, so I'm going to install without it and catch up later.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty easy.
I'm pretty sure I saw them at some point, but I don't know where they are. Oh, I've got another box here.
So I'm going to use the Pine Sol Q that chat recommended that I buy. Well, it was between this and I think it was a T500 tiny little soldering iron. And this morning when I pulled out the soldering iron I've used for heat inserts for the last 5 or 6 years, oh, the spacers will be different though, he's saying.
The spacers will be different? Well,
yeah.
Hopefully our providers at least printed the correct spacers.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I would imagine that's the case. We'll try them. And I guess worst comes to worst. What are you playing on Steam? I haven't played Steam in, wait, did it show Steam? Oh, it's open down below. I still have it on here, but I actually haven't, I was just telling Steve, I haven't played, other than on Steam Deck, like a video game on PC in a long time. So, because the soldering iron that I have finally died, I tested this out, and it worked really well for some testing heat inserts I did earlier. So, I am just right now using, it's basically a, it's a MacBook, MacBook charger.
Oh.
You can't find it, the stand-ups? No. Okay, well I think, again, it's just 2 bolts that go on the bottom, fine. So yeah. So I'm going to plug this in. It should pretty much instantly heat up.
I'm gonna use my Vector3d VLMP.
Yeah, you're right, Steam, I think Steam Auto opened, John. It's not signed in, so I promise I wasn't gaming. I have an ergonomic. This is my mouse. I can't game with this unless it's like Sims or something like real casual. Yeah, it auto opens. I need to probably disable that. Reseller costs about the same. Honestly, it's not cheaper. They still have to ship and they have to cover for the shipping. Oh, okay. Playing Diablo 4. Oh yeah, it plays pretty good on the Steam Deck. Okay, so I've got this, and we tested, or at least I fit checked yesterday, and it seems like the Voron standard heat inserts work quite well. What are they, Steve? They're 5.5 by 4 by M3. Okay. So I'm just gonna place this and go for it. Let's see. I saw who popped in a second ago. Hey, Raheem. All right, going for it.
My iron takes quite a bit longer to heat up than your...
Yeah, this thing is awesome.
You need one of those new CNC Kitchen TS100 heat set insert tools.
It's absolutely on the it's on the wish list. I almost ordered them the other day, but I was like, I need to get a silicone USB. Like, this is a high-powered USB-C cable, but it's too stiff for this. I need to get a silicone one, and then I need to get a. I don't like using my MacBook's power supply for this. I should probably get like a dedicated one at some point. So
it's surprisingly inexpensive for that heat set thing. I think I looked at it. It's $25.
Yeah, that's not bad.
This duct can be used for both air-cooled and short water-cooled Goliath, while the long one only fits the air-cooled or water block version. Okay.
Okay, that's good to know. So one of them went in perfectly. The other one, I've got a little bit of a little bit of plastic. So I'm gonna take my little flush cutters and take this off here. Steve builds this. Oh, that was PB. He read that. So I'm just going to.
I believe we will have them in stock soon. I have mine, but it's amazing. That's Shammy talking about the heat set tool.
Oh, CNC Kitchens?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. He's gonna stock them in the States?
Looks like it.
Oh, if that's the case, yeah, I'll order from you, Shammy, when you get them in. I'm not in a rush. I mean, the default tip's working, but I like to support Defon, and it'd be cool to have.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Heat inserts in.
My iron's still heating up.
No. What kind of iron is it?
It's the cheapest thing I could find on Amazon that had an adjustable temperature.
One of my original ones was like either a Radio Shack or Home Depot that you just plugged in the wall. I think it was one temperature, and it had like a little orange LED in the handle or something like that, so you knew it was on.
I have a replacement for it. I just haven't gotten around to printing the little
Pieces for it.
Yeah, the adapter. Right. And really, my ultimate goal is instead to use my TS100 on here, make a mount for it, and make a mount for a battery pack, and have it be cordless.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome.
Oh, cool. KB also says they carry all of CNC Kitchen's products with the TS tip kit inbound.
Awesome.
For some reason, I didn't know that. I didn't know of any official resellers in the States. I know Adam carries them in the UK. I know they ship directly, and I think that they have them on Amazon in like Germany or EU, but I don't think they're global. So that's good to know that there are a few. Do I need to send you a pencil? They're great. I have 2 on the bench. That's for you, Steve.
I have a TS100, so I'm good. That's probably what I'll end up putting on here.
Well, I like that it's thick, so let me see. I love this little Scadis. I don't know if I can even show this. Let me try to turn you guys over here really quick.
Okay, I need to put the Running Man back on the tool head. Did you already do that?
I never took Running Man off. Oh, you mean when we did the belts? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I never put it back on after.
We're drifting. Hold on. I wanted to show. I love this thing for organization, but there's a little mount for this pencil, so when I'm done with it, it just goes right into its little slot here, and it's right there when I need it. Super handy. I'm a big fan of this little. When
I finally get back to streaming from the other garage, I plan on doing some stuff to organize tools like that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite, like, when I got into 3D printing, it was for like video game modding stuff. And I had no idea, that again, it would become this whole thing. But one of my favorite applications for 3D printing now is just straight up organizing my chaotic life. Like, it's so good. Like, I get that there's all sorts of systems out there, but nothing quite beats like a custom setup specific for your app, for like what you've got around you. It's so nice.
Yeah. Okay, so M3 by 10 button heads?
M3 by 10 button heads. That's a great question. Tuxedo says injection molded. This is not injection molded. Mine is 3D printed in carbon fiber ASA. And Steve's is polycarb or?
Yeah, 3DX Tech carbon fiber polycarbonate.
Yeah. Okay, so we need to go. This is what you're doing. Then you're going through.
How does this actually go?
So it goes through from the CPAP. Oh wait, this isn't.
This is wrong. Is there a spacer that we should have for this?
Wait, what looks wrong to you?
No, it's sandwiches. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind. It's sandwiches from behind. There we go.
So the Running Man is the farthest out, right? And then it's the other two.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Why haven't you been streaming in the other garage? Because I set up in here for the Pooch Trident build streams, and I haven't moved back because it's a mess, and I like the extra space that I have in here, but the the separating my normal work area and normal 3D printing tools into two different locations is what the biggest problem is. Plus, I can't just freely do something dirty in this garage now. I can't use the table saw without worrying about sawdust getting everywhere. Does that make sense?
I think so. All right, 1 second, Steve. Okay, so going from behind. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
What?
I screwed it in and completely missed the little duct.
Oh shit. This angle I'm at for the camera is incredibly awkward.
Oh shoot. Just heard a crack.
I need my driver. I'm trying to one-hand grab the driver while holding the screw in place. There we go. Okay, so the holes on the CPAP printed piece are not like they thread into it as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just print quality issues.
Oh, you think that's what it is? Wait,
I think so.
Hold on. I'm struggling.
Do you have the correct piece there?
It doesn't.
There's a narrow one and a wide one.
Yeah, I have the wrong piece.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong. I thought I double checked that, but I did not. So, all right, this is a much better angle for me to be able to see what I'm doing. So this guy. Wait a minute. Something seems off.
You should have a couple of different duct pieces.
Oh, yeah. No, everything's right. Everything is good. There's three. There's three of them, it looks like.
Really? I have two that have a duct.
And then as far as this must go downwards. Yep. Duct needs to be going downwards, right? I can't see the picture from.
Yes.
Okay.
The air ducts, the point at the nozzle.
Yeah, downward. That makes sense. It's the only way that would make sense.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I thought I triple checked that I had grabbed the right piece, but I grabbed the smaller one. Yeah.
So I've got this. I'm not going to put the spacers in because I can't find them. Okay. But normally those would be some M3 by question mark screws. If I would say those are going to be M3 by 25s.
Does the question mark is the question mark because it's related to where you have the fan set at? Because you would need longer screws if you had longer spacers. So like they can't have an exact. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if the
that's
whole thing slides up and
M3
down,
by 25 isn't necessarily correct because that whole thing slides. So that spacer is going to need to be variable, right?
Yeah, in this case, maybe not because it's intended maybe for the Goliath.
Yeah, just where I happen to put the Running Man in relation to everything, it ended up being 25. But when we put the Goliath on is when we'll know exactly what length. But you have spacers, so we'll see if it lines up.
I'm gonna leave my spacers off for right now, right? I can't think of, or should I just?
It's going to be hard to get in with the Goliath on. You're going to have to pull the Goliath off later.
Okay, so
I'm going to have to, and that's fine.
Okay, so we want, in this case, you said what? Steve, you measured this, M325s?
Hmm?
You said M325 is what you think is the correct one, given...
No, that's not correct. It's going to be something. I don't have the spacers, so I don't know. How long is the spacer?
It's a great question.
Because it's going to be about the spacer length plus 5. It's going to be about whatever that spacer length is plus 5.
Mine's showing 16.75, so I'll round up and say 17. So 22.
That's probably going to be about. But if those are even the right spacers.
That's true.
The spacer and bolt length is variable depending on which duct you use and what hot end version. But 30 millimeters or 25 millimeters is often used.
Okay.
Okay.
The kit doesn't have a
What
25
we know all the parts that we have here. It seems like we should be able to know which spacer is actually correct.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I don't know because we don't have experience with this, but we should be able to get the actual length here. And I guess we'll get it when we put let's put the Goliath on. Is that next?
I've got 2 M325s I'm gonna throw on just for fun right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna hope for the best. If it's not right, obviously I'll adjust it later.
Just make sure they don't drive up into the carbon fiber tube from below.
That is. Thank you, Steve. Oh shit! I need I gotta clear out these holes with a reamer.
Do you have the reamer?
Oh, you betcha, Steve.
Awesome.
Pretty much every time you've been like, "Hey, buy this thing," I end up buying it, and it's pretty much always saved me. So let me see. This is 3. Yeah, the holes on the bottom here just aren't super clean. See if I can hold this in place.
You gonna come over here, Charlie?
Hey Sam, college starting next week, for mechatronics engineering. Awesome. Is it first year? That's exciting. I should have done this before I put this on. That was not a. Are your holes? Can you fit a M3 through yours, Steve?
Let's find out.
Okay. Yeah, mine's requiring. I think it's because of the direction it's printed at. That's sort of where a lot of the sag ends up.
I have not used a Goliath before this build. Yeah, mine will need some reaming as well.
Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. All right, bolt should hopefully go through now, and it does. Standoff goes right here.
What is there a
25's too
is there
long,
a ringing in the background?
I don't hear anything.
Really?
25 is cutting it close. I think for these guys, 20 mil is probably better. I can show. Let me see if I focus it. So that's it sticking out. It's gonna be very close going through that if it's gonna be going into that carbon fiber rod. You see that, Steve?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's close. I think I'd rather. I think I'd rather go a little bit lighter. Hey, Adam.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see if I've got a 20. Does the kit have 20s? No. Do I have 20s in this old Loran screw organizer? M325s, M3. I don't have M320s. Oh man, I think I'm gonna hold out, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're both holding out on those then.
Yeah, I've got to run around and see where I've got an M3. Actually, damn it. Let me check one last place. I think I've got another set of leftover screws from when I did that Cyborg 0.2 build. You still hear ringing?
I hear something. I'm looking on my computer to see if I have any tabs open that are doing some noise. It's weird.
Yeah, I've got 16 and then it jumps to 25, so I'm either cutting or running around looking for something later on. Spacers should be around 23 millimeters. Okay, so this is the wrong spacer then.
So the wrong spacers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when I measure this, what did I say? 17, right, roughly?
That might need to be corrected in the ASA VZ folks then with the files they're using for this kit.
I can show. It's coming in at just
16.
Yeah, 16.77 roughly. I mean, call it 17, I guess, but so okay. You can find the file. You can file the M3. Oh god, Pascal says I can file the M3 down. I have mastered the art of filing M3s, but I think that I'm going to. My goal for this stream is to sweat as little as possible. So I'm gonna hold off on that. But yeah, I'll just end up printing. I'll end up printing out a spacer later on, and then again disassembling. So okay, if we are not installing that, what are we doing next then? And
this is, I mean, like I said, this is just feedback for the for the folks.
People at
Would
the
just
front door. Okay. Love you. All right, Aaron and Jack are taking off.
Hi, Aaron.
KB3D,
Bye, Jack.
thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Did KB3D, I asked you last week, I don't remember what you said. Are you going to LBX or no? I don't remember what the answer was. Okay, so next thing I think we're mounting the extruder, Steve, is what it looks like.
awesome.
And that looks like it's with 2 ultra low profile wafer M36s, which we do have.
So this is the what do we call this?
The
keyboard extrude something.
What do you mean?
Hextrudort.
Oh, yeah.
VZ Hextrudort.
I have a hard time saying it, but every time Vez says it, he says it, or Simon says it, he says it like perfectly. I mean, I guess it's, he probably named it, so, but yeah, it's a gorgeous looking extruder. We showed it off, I think, when we did the first unboxing, but like, for anyone that hasn't seen it, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's got the VZ logo, it's all black CNC'd, you know, nicely anodized, and it's got the helix. So they're called helicoil, or what's? I don't even know.
Helical.
Okay, helical gears on here. So yeah, these are really, really pretty. Okay, sweet. KB is going there, so I'll see you in October then. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's weird. In my AirPod, I'm hearing an extra noise. But if it's not coming through, then I can ignore it.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. I know yesterday you said at one point too there was something weird happening. Remember when we were talking, like you heard a strange sound? So I don't know. But your audio sounds really, really good to me.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so for this, it looks like it just basically sits right on top and aligns with 3, 4.
So there's no extra things here. No extra. Okay, so we need.
Doesn't look like it.
It says M3x5s. More M3x5s. Are these actually M3x5s, or will M3x6s work?
Oh, it says M3x6 up top, so I hope that's. I would.
Further down in the thing, it says from the bottom going up, M3x5s.
I'm gonna install 6s and pray. So yeah. GP, thank you. Really enjoying the live stream duo and printer. Cheers. Yeah, we've been having a blast.
Yeah.
Steve and I meet up the night before, and we could probably get our prep done very quickly, and it ends up not being very quick because we're all talking about other stuff. So,
yeah, these are AirPods Pro, Mr. Jada.
Okay, so, jeez, oh no, I dropped one. Hold on.
Okay, so from the bottom.
Yep, and it's through the. It must be. Oh, they're slightly further back, so they are here.
And bring the bed all the way down. 6 would work better. I'll change the dock to 6. Should be 6. Awesome. That means we don't have to even worry about trying to sand these down.
Okay, so I'm keeping that one loose until I get the other one in. Hope I'm going in the right
Sometimes I have the same issue with the spatial on. Oh, okay. That's weird.
Oh, you know what? I was wondering why.
We should do some Loctite on these.
Oh, good point. Yep. Oh, loosen this. I was wondering why they need to be these wafer heads, but something tells me, because based off, they're not going into a channel where they're going to be like hidden, they're still sticking out, but something tells me that that spacer for the Goliath has a recessed section for it, and that's why the wafer head needs to be like that, so it can fit in there. So
where'd my spacer go? Oh, there it is.
Is there a recessed section in there?
I think it goes around them. I think
like they go inside.
Suspect. Oh, maybe it does. Yeah.
Vez says he personally doesn't put Loctite. Interesting.
I personally don't put Loctite.
We're doing it on the toolhead stuff. We haven't done it on anything else, but we are doing it for the toolhead. And this is not like, at least this one is just 222, so it's like medium. I can get it off if need be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
so
is
not
light duty
child's play.
Loctite. But this metal to metal stuff, I think it's a good idea.
All right. Let's see if I can super awkward.
Personally, and it doesn't move ever. Well, that's...
That's wild to me. Even, Vez, on your primary one that you're pushing at those crazy speeds, you don't use Loctite at all? I feel like that's nuts. Because
he also just says that he's...
Oh, you remove stuff so often. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. If you're
so
if you're like mad scientisting, you know, like your printer nonstop, I could see how you might not want to lock things down any more than you have to, if that makes sense.
yeah, these do kind of looks like they do lock or settle into a spot on the on this spacer.
Okay. I'm trying to, let me see here. I got one in, but for some reason, second one, it would help if I was going in the right hole.
Got to go in the right hole.
It's
critical.
There's a couple small ones on the other side that I was going for. No Loctite, yeah. I'm excited to try. What do you put in the Goliath on, Zombie? On your Trident? Or on something else? Is there's not a stealth burner. Is there a mod, Steve, for a Goliath? I know there's nothing official.
Nothing official. I'm sure someone's made a mod. Someone's made a mod for everything.
That's true.
I mean, I think there's a ultra super mega volcano mod that stretches the stealth burner ducts down 8 inches.
This says, okay, I've measured the screw needed on the duct spacer. It's 28 millimeters.
With a 23.5 millimeter spacer.
Okay. Is 28 millimeters a standard size? It's not, huh? It'd be easier to do, Vez, oh, well, I guess it has to be, right? It has to be a certain height. Like, there's no choice, at least. Right, because
there is space. There is space if you wanted to put a spacer on the other side of that duct to use a 30 millimeter screw. You could put 2 millimeters of spacer on the other side.
Oh,
and be fine.
Yeah.
I think. Okay.
Yeah, I guess worst comes to worst, for a 30, I'll go out in the garage and grind it down if I have to. For a 28, but that's good to know. Okay, so I think that the next thing is basically Goliath time. Yeah, so for the Goliath stuff, I'm going to at least start off by moving printer out of the way. So I've got a bit of a cleaner work area.
Hey, Vez, when you say we can print the other one, you're talking about the whole ducts? The full duct? The other duct? This duct was designed for the short version of Goliath. And there's a short version versus this long version?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, for the water-cooled one would be shorter, Steve, because it doesn't have that same heatsink probably. It probably uses a different block setup. At least that's the only thing I could think of. Otherwise, I don't know how you can go shorter because you still need that heatsink. The one you see in the dock. Okay, so we need to print a new duct. I mean, well, for now, we're just moving forward with what we've got, but it sounds like we're going to be replacing...
reprinting.
Duct and spacers, yeah.
Okay.
So for the Goliath, we are going to hop over to, this is the GitHub repository for the Goliath. There's a few things that we need to do. I guess we'll want to just kind of go through it. Want to just kind of go through it, Steve?
Yeah, I'm going to paste a link into chat to where we're at.
Cool, sounds great.
There we go.
Short version equals heatsink removed. Okay, yeah, that makes sense then. Since it's not air cooling, they just...
Goes directly into the water-cooled VZ Extruder.
The Goliath is using a nichrome wire to heat up the block. It is quite stiff, but also able to be bended to the desired position. Be extremely careful in bending. Be gentle and take your time. Put your thumb where the wire exits the heat block to hold it in place and avoid wire going out of the groove. Also, to protect it from bending, again, of the portion that is bent already, then slowly bend it to the desired shape. So I'm gonna just take off the sleeving on the Goliath real quick so we can take a look at it. Or the silicone sock for anyone that hasn't seen it. And we established that it was 120 watt, right? It's 120 watt.
It's 24 volt. I don't know how many watt it is.
So this is the heating element.
How many watt is this thing?
I'm pretty sure it was 120 because when we were talking about AC, someone said no, it's actually 120 DC.
120 watts, 24 volt.
Yeah, I think that's what I could be wrong. So yeah, this is the sort of heating element.
100 watt is what Vez says.
Oh, 100 watt. Okay.
So it's about 4 amps, a little over 4 amps.
Yeah, it's chunky, dude. It's definitely it's got to be the beefiest heating element I've personally used on a hot end. I think probably 60
Oh, here it
watts.
says right here, 100 watt, 24 volt DC nichrome wire on the Goliath page.
Okay. So there's that. And I guess yep.
I think we were both going to hold off on bending this into final position until we get to wiring,
like
right?
Wiring, yeah, because we don't really know how we're going to route things. We've seen two different methods. One is like more of an extreme bend where you bend the wire underneath the X rod, which looks cleaner but requires more of a steep bend. And then there was another one where it sort of went up. So yeah, we're definitely not going to, we don't want to do anything either permanent or semi-permanent with the wiring until we get closer, to that point of it all. Yeah. There are 3 positions you can use for the heat block, since there are 3 screws and standoffs. 3 positions you can use for the heat block. So you can rotate the heat block to your need. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha.
What dock are you, what part are you looking at?
This is under the top of it, tips for the VZBot aluminum print head.
Oh, you're not on the Goliath page? Oh, you're on the instructions.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Under the instructions.
Okay, got it. Got it. I'm caught up.
Yep. So basically all it's saying is that because it has these 3 points, you can loosen them and rotate this, so that way if you want wires coming out one direction versus another, you have that option as well, which we will have really no way of knowing, I don't think, until we're at wiring. So until it might need to come apart again in the future for ducting, standoffs, and positioning this stuff. But at least for now, we're gonna get it prepped and in place. And
Vez is suggesting that we bend to the right side of the tool head because it's easier on the nichrome. Instead of going under the extreme bend, just go to the right side.
Yeah, I certainly don't want to damage anything. Yeah. So if that's I would rather play it safe than be sitting here on stream with Goliath-sized tears coming down my tubes. So you can either send the nichrome wire to the Mac. Oh, it's right here, left, right side. Sending to the right will keep the natural bend of the wire. Yes, let's do that then, if that's also what Bez is saying. It's recommended to add some thermal paste grease between the heat break and heat sink for better heat transfer. Do not use boron nitride, as it will dry it and make it really hard to remove the heat break. Also verify the heat break was correctly torqued on the heat block while you're there. Okay, so I think that's what we're gonna do next. And I spoke with, we asked Bez and PB yesterday because I only had boron nitride, and it's not recommended to use for this application. Steve has let me know that although it's a thermal solution where it could help remove it, it's going to, because it dries hard, it's basically going to like weld the heat break to the heat block, is what you explained to me, right, Steve?
Yeah, it's gonna make it very hard to remove.
So I instead, hold on, let me first, let me go here really quick. I'm going to change the track. So yeah, last night, running around trying to figure out if I had any thermal paste, I found some of this stuff. So this is what we're gonna use in place of the boron nitride, or at least I'm gonna use. Steve's got his own stuff. I don't know where I got this from, and it was probably many, many years ago, but it's probably better than the boron nitride. So we're going to be using this Antex stuff. What are you using, Steve? What's your?
I'm using Arctic MX2 because that's what I found too.
Oh, nice.
In my stash of things.
Just randomness.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll start by, actually, let me go, since there's not a lot on my desk, let me go overhead and see if I can zoom in a bit. Nope, that's as far as you zoom in. That's fine. So we'll start off by removing the 3 small bolts holding this in place. Definitely not wanting to lose these little screws.
And I know I have some more current thermal compound in my collection of things. I just couldn't find it last night.
Yeah.
And this stuff I'm using right now is actually a little more dried out than I
would like.
Maybe I can get a little further into it. Let me try a little. Okay, never mind. I got it. It's just the plug on the end was really dry. Behind that, it's nice and gooey.
So for this, it also says, I thought you wouldn't use PC thermal paste for heat breaks. I thought you couldn't use PC thermal paste for heat breaks.
Why not?
I know that that's what also, whatchamacallit, Drop Effect recommends using PC thermal paste. They did some testing. I can't find it anymore. I looked for it. They did some testing between, I think, 3 or 4 different thermal pastes and found very little difference in performance quality. So, are you going to take a tiny little spanner wrench and try to tighten this, Steve?
Try to tighten
the heat break in place?
It's not already tight?
It says to check.
Oh, to check.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what your nice, neat little tools are perfect for.
Oh, my little, yeah, just the little ones, right? The
little ones are perfect.
Perfect. Oh, it's my first time. So yeah, Steve, for anyone who didn't see, Steve got me these awesome Knipex. I mean, what are they? Like, they're kind of like vice grips, right, in a sense?
Yeah, they're parallel jaw pliers.
Beautiful. They don't have the sharp teeth, so you don't damage things. And they have like, instead of just opening it and sliding it, there's a little push button here that sort of spring allows you to move it. They're incredible. So thank you, Steve. All right. So I'm just going to grab the flat portion on this heat break.
But doesn't that indicate it will dry out over time? What will dry out over time?
Shit, this is
the
really
thermal compound? I mean, if it's works for a PC, it's going to work for this.
Are you gripping both ends, Steve?
Actually, I couldn't find my small Knipex are in the other garage, so I'm going to be pulling this apart anyway later. I'll check it later.
Okay. Yeah, this is it's tough to grip the round.
Some PC paste isn't rated for high enough temperatures, but this doesn't.
Shouldn't get that
shouldn't
hot up
get
there.
to that temperature. That's kind of the.
How are you applying it, Steve? That's more what I'm curious about. I've never put.
I just kind of smeared it on. So what I did is I smeared it on the copper part there, making sure not to get up over the end into the entry. And then I just kind of put the heatsink on in kind of a twisting motion to try to smear it around a little more and
just like one line, a single line.
Huh?
A single line.
Well, and then I use my finger to kind of smear it around the thing for a somewhat even coat.
Gotcha.
And then as you're putting the heatsink back on, kind of twisting back and forth to distribute it even further, and make sure it doesn't all just an attempt to make sure it doesn't all just squeeze out the end.
Yeah.
Doesn't need a lot of torque. Yeah, you don't want to break that either. The heat break isn't supposed to get to high temps, only if you're having heat creep issues. Yep.
All right, this isn't a, I don't know if this is the best coverage job I can show it. Let's see, but hopefully it's better than not having it.
So boron nitride is a high temperature thermal interface material. The drawback to it, and why it's used, and like the mosquito, to hold in the thermistor and the heater cartridge. But the drawback of it is it does dry out and it basically turns into a glue, and we'd never get this apart. Is why you don't use the boron nitride for this.
Yeah, I told Steve that I didn't know. I've used it before because I've had a few people, disciples of the boron nitride clan, tell me that it's like God's gift to the 3D printing realm, and so I bought it and I've used it a few times. But I will say that I've never had to take it off, and so now that I know that, I will not be using it for heat breaks. Okay, so you just said, again, kind of spinning it.
It's back and forth. Wiggle it back and forth. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Did you already install your the standoffs again?
I did.
Screws?
Did.
You're so fast.
Well, I didn't tighten the heat break either because I couldn't. My smaller Knipex pliers are in the other garage.
Gotcha.
I didn't want to run over there and get them.
You need one of these little pegboard things, man.
I need all my stuff in one spot so I don't have to run back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vez says he broke a Goliath with boron nitride. It welded the heat break inside.
Shoot. So that's why he's got a big warning saying,
yeah,
do not use.
Best warnings are based on experience.
That's true. It's true. Some of the you know, toughest lessons are learned by. Oh no! Oh god!
Repeated demoralizing failure.
Oh, come on, last screw.
Oh, way a few V6 heat blocks with heaters attached to them.
I'm just lightly putting these screws because they're like, I'm not. You didn't clamp down on these screws, did you, Steve? Just sort of
no,
get them,
no,
yeah,
just
hand tight.
Just half an ugga dugga.
I've never heard that before, like this stream series with you, and I like it because it doesn't make sense, and it makes just enough sense, like to you know, to get it. Like, all right, deep brake should be tightened at factory, so it should be fine. Just a quick check to make sure. Gotcha. Okay, so moving back over to here.
Oh, I want to watch Ahsoka. I'm gonna watch that with my son. The new Star Wars series on Disney Plus.
Oh,
someone says Ahsoka was really good, so I'm looking forward to watching that.
You know what I haven't said once is to hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. How far are we in? I don't even.
How many folks do we have here?
We've been streaming for an hour, yeah.
145 people, and we have half the number of likes as people watching.
Yeah, if you haven't hit the like button, please do.
We've got to. We gotta hit 200 by filament giveaway time.
Which is in 30 minutes, so no pressure, but smack it. Okay. It is recommended to add thermal paste. We did that. Always verify the heat break. You can add a heat insulation sleeve if you like to give more protection to the wire, which is what's on here. Which do we want to ask the question about that, Steve? Because I'm curious to see what Vez thinks regarding the wiring on this. So, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it?
You go for it.
Okay. All right. So, Vez, question for you, and PB, and anybody. So the Goliath comes in this kit, at least, in this beautiful sleeving, right? Like, it is very, very nice looking. The issue that I'm seeing is this sleeving only contains 2 wires, and it's the 2 wires for the heating element. The thermistor screws into the side of the heatsink, and because of the way this is sort of set up, there's no path to get any wires from the thermistor, the cooling fan, or what's the other thing end stop through here. And so my question is what is the, like, one, is there a reason why they come like this? Because it seems sort of like it makes more trouble. Like, it's pretty, but it seems like it makes more trouble than it needs to be. And 2, is there a solution to be able to feed all wires through here instead of running wires in addition to this outside? Because this sleeving feels thick enough that it should be able to house all sets of wires in here. But again, the way it's sort of built down here, I don't see an easy way to just snip into here to get wires in there. So Steve and I were talking, and we're curious to see, is there a good solution for this, or, like, you know, what is the recommendation? Did I do a good job? I think I did a good job, Steve.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm just wondering. I think it's reasonable to run some additional wires in there. It just means cutting off this heat shrink and replacing it, I think.
Yeah, I'm curious, because it feels like the heating element wires have a coating on them, right? Like, it almost, or maybe they don't. How hot, like, where does the heating element of these wires stop is sort of another question I have.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. You can't put wires or melt them. Are you saying that if we put my wires through there, that there's a chance of it getting overheating?
Wait, it says you can't put wires or melt them. You can remove that sleeve if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of trying to interpret. Maybe some typo there or something. I have personally removed the sleeve, is what Vez is saying. Well, let's explore that when we're prepping for wiring.
Yeah, sounds great.
Explore our options.
We have Vez here, can you call me on Discord somehow? We're on Skype, so I don't know how we would do a Discord thing right now.
Yeah, I have no idea how we would integrate someone.
Yeah, Vez, we're not going to be doing the wiring today anyway.
Yeah.
I just more so wanted to run it by and see, since you were here, if you had a solution for it. So if there's any images that you have available, or that PB or anybody that wants to post in our Discord that we can look at for sort of inspiration, that would be cool. But yeah, it's not a huge concern right now. I just wanted to ask more than anything.
Yeah, and I would say probably if we wanted to coordinate maybe a call to explain a few things later, we could
Cool.
off stream.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, all right. So you can heat installation if you run the CNC, the PTFE. Okay, so now we need the PTFE tubing to go between the Goliath.
There we go. Awesome, we get to use a new tool.
All right, I'm gonna let you show it because it's your tool, and I'm just thankful that you sent me the tool before today's stream.
Let's see what I have. Do I have the old one here? I think the old one's in the other garage, but that's okay. So folks have seen me use a little super simple jig for just cutting flush PTFE wire, and it looks like this, right? The one that I used to use. You've seen it. All it is a little clamp, so I have a reference surface to drag a X-Acto knife across for cutting PTFE tubing. So I did some modifications just to play around. Made it so that it sits flat on a surface, so it's safer to cut. Added a few little reference marks for measurements, and it's just a little heat set here, so you can hold the PTFE in place. So as you're cutting it, it doesn't slide, because PTFE is slick. If it slides out of the way, then you end up with an angled cut. So the way this... Huh?
Steve, one last thing, just because I see like 2 or 3 people saying it'd be cool to have Vez on. I'm thinking, because you've done that in the past, where like sort of on the final of a build stream, you have the creator on, it would be cool, like if we can try to see, I mean, again, it's probably gonna be some serious weeks away, but to coordinate with Vez, maybe as like a final thing where we have him on, we're playing around with our VZs, and maybe we ask some of those questions or let others ask those questions. If, like, I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot either, like we have to orchestrate it because we don't know how it would work with a third person, but I certainly think that could be an interesting idea if we're able to coordinate it time-wise with, okay, so Simon, if you're up for it, it'll be probably at least some weeks for us to do the electrical, but as a final thing, it would be very cool to have you on the stream to answer questions and just sort of hang out and talk about the project. I think everyone would really enjoy that. So that's something that Steve, me, and you can try to coordinate, over the coming weeks here.
Yep.
So, sorry, I just want to throw it out there since we were just talking about that.
So I printed this out of some polycarbonate carbon fiber filament that I had, but it doesn't really matter. All you're looking for is a flat surface here. First step in using this is going to be the insert the filament from the opposite direction for just a tiny bit to stick out. And then I just grab a 2mm to tighten it. Take your sharp X-Acto knife and just use that, scrape across that surface to make sure that we have a, and I just pulled and that print turned out terrible because the perimeters on that first layer just peeled right off. Oh well. Anyway, flat that, make sure that that first surface is flat, and then we can loosen it and put it in from the other direction for the 22. And I did some measurements on the extruder, the stack up of aluminum parts, and into the Goliath, and I came up with just under 23mm of PTFE tube length. The instructions say 22mm, and on NeroStream, Vez said he cuts it to 24 and then test fits it and trims off until it gets to the right length. I think we have aluminum parts here. It's a known distance. I just measured it, and it was like 22.7. So I'm going to cut this to 22.5, which happens to be one of these little marks here. I'm going to confirm that with calipers.
Yep.
So
it's the second.
The idea here is you can measure from this surface to the end and end up with, that's 22.9. Let's pull back just a little bit. And we're gonna call, I guess I didn't actually pull back.
Since that line has some depth to it, Steve, would you say like towards the farthest point of that little guy, or the closest?
I would say right to the middle.
Okay.
So So there's 22.4-ish. 22.5, and then tighten this down just to hold it in place. You don't get an angled cut. Move this other stuff out of the way and cut that off. And then I'm gonna come in here and just make sure that I got a square cut. Now, while it's still in here, I'm gonna take a chamfering tool.
Ooh, I like that. Well, it's still in your set way.
While it's still in there, I'm gonna take a chamfering tool and just do a little chamfer to the inside. And that's gonna be the part that goes up towards the VZBot XT thing.
I got 22.4 on my...
Perfect, good enough.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna grab my, where's my, there it is. I got my little V-bit as well. And then, how much, damn it, did I miss it? Did you already do your V-bit?
I did.
How much?
I just spin it.
Just a couple times?
If I can get it to focus, you might be able to see. I don't know.
Focus on your hands.
Yeah.
There we go.
Is that any better?
Okay. So yeah, like half the...
About half the thickness of the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not happy with the way this print turned out, though. That freaking first layer peeling apart like that. This is some generic polycarbonate PC or CF that I bought off Amazon. So my settings probably weren't great.
Vez said earlier that he's absolutely on board to come on when we get towards the end.
Awesome.
So. Yep.
Awesome. Hey, Dr. Dave. So yeah, I just modeled this for the purposes of this stream. I'll throw this out on my GitHub. I think the previous one is out there right now. But I wanted something that was a little more safe, something that was stable. You could sit on a surface and use your knife instead of, I always just hold it and use the knife. And I'm comfortable doing that, but I wanted something that more people would be comfortable with.
You said you'd only release it at 200 likes before giveaway? Weird.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. You said it. It's now true.
Yeah, when Steve showed me the little PTFE jig, even the previous one, we're at 154. What time is it right now? We've got how much time till giveaway opens in 17 minutes. Oh, plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
112 likes. Yeah, 154 viewers. If you haven't hit like, please do. But when Steve showed that jig, I was like, that is way better than what I use, which is just holding the PTFE out in front of me and doing my best to freehand slice downwards. And anyone that knows me, like, if you see my personality and my squirreliness, just imagine how jittery my hands are trying to cut perfectly straight. So yeah, I absolutely, I like this a lot more than my solution, Steve. So cool. Well, I guess I'll take back the screen and then we'll go back over to the GitHub instructions. Let's see, if you're on 22 millimeters long, make sure everything is tightened properly, and once you have it mounted and ready to go, do 2 to 3 heat cycles. Okay, we don't need that now. Always heat the hot end before moving nozzle. Always torque the nozzle after you heat the hot end. Torque requires 1.2 to 1.4. You can use this. Oh, there's a tool.
John, no spoilers. Although that's not really a spoiler, but.
Do you use any sort of torquing tool for nozzles? I don't. I usually just spanner wrench it to feel, which is probably not also. Yeah, okay. It's worked for me so far. But I mean, I will say that it would be nice just to have a tool that you can use and not have to think about it. Always torque, heat brake. Same applies to the heat brake. To remove the heat brake, we don't need to do. Oh, interesting. It's a PT100. The
PT1000.
Oh yeah, yep, PT1000. Remove the sock, unscrew the 2 M2 screws to the heatsink. Once heatsink is removed, okay, we're not needing to do that. High temp wire example showing on the right side. Okay, so I think that all that's really left is to install the PTFE into top of the Goliath, right? Or do we want to go?
Do we need to put this little? We need to put the little machined piece on top, right?
Yeah, before we install it into the cage we do, you think because it doesn't bolt to it, right? Like it basically the bolts go through this into the cage through the spacer is what I believe.
Well, this little machine part bolts to the top of the Goliath, and then this whole thing bolts to the X carriage.
Where is that little guy? Here it is. Oh, interesting. Okay. Wait, are you? Yeah, no, it has to. It has to do that. Okay. As far as direction goes right now, I guess it doesn't really matter.
What's
but I'm gonna have
it says to use M3 by question mark screws for this. So I think it's more of the wafer head or the ultra low profile, and there's actually exactly 4 left in the kit, on mine anyway.
How do I have more than you? That doesn't make sense. Unless the kits came with different. I've got. You're talking about the M3 6s, right?
M3 by 6s, yeah.
Yeah. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them.
Really?
Yeah. Unless I'm missing.
Did you use those? Oh no! That's wrong. It's wrong. It's by 2.5s. These are 2.5 by 6.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, 2.5 ultra low profile. I labeled them wafer head on our labels.
Yep.
Yeah. It's M2.5. Yeah. I just noticed that as I was trying to thread one in.
And you're like, it goes right in. So yeah, as far as the wires go, I'm just going to position it where the plate sort of has the wires going. Would you rather, Steve, so would you rather have the wires right now going slightly diagonal outwards or slightly diagonal inwards?
It'll also depend on how you put the heat break back together. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you what I've got going on. If you wanna. There we are.
Oh, so you've got yours going perfectly out to the left. So yeah, it's different than mine.
Yeah.
So I've got slightly inwards. All right, I guess I'll just. I don't know if that's going to be an issue in mounting if it's going slightly inwards.
These are.
For now, it doesn't matter because I can always take off the 3 prongs on the bottom, right, and rotate it if need be.
You can.
Yeah, so that's what I'll end up doing if needed. So
you might have to still rotate it up here, but we can always go through and redo this when we.
This is not the right. What size driver is needed for this? 1.5?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. It's in my special cubby of like hardly used.
And it's interesting as we saw before, the screws that mount the extruder to the carriage, these go right here. These screws are more recessed than the front screws here to give that clearance.
I am struggling.
Steve got it wrong? What'd I get wrong? Slightly to the front?
Oh, slightly more wires coming?
Yeah, I do need to go more to the front. I was lining this up before and I thought this would be correct, but Vez is absolutely right. I've got it wrong. So don't go by me.
Okay, so like what I have is probably fine then, going slightly out. Okay. I feel there's all sorts of confidence spewing from All right. Why am I not?
I do have it wrong. So let me see what I was eyeballing things and I thought I was close, but he's right. I'm off. So
I don't know if it's the caffeine or if that driver just wasn't right, but I am not able to get this. Oh.
I'm taking this apart and re-gauging where things need to go.
Oh. Is this like right, Bez, then? Basically, if I have it like this, it's going. Let's see. So it'd be like that, kind of going out at a I don't know, but consider a 45 degree. So 3 bolts in the heatsink are symmetrical when you look.
From the front. So right here, this way. So if I'm understanding right, if this is here and you're looking from the front, they're symmetrical. Should this one be pointing forward or should the 2 be pointing forward?
I hope it's the 2, because if it is, I'm right.
If it's a 2, you're correct. Yep.
Come on.
Is it 2 forward, 1 back?
Oh, we can look at the. Let me see if I can see the dock before.
One of the three standoffs should align to the front.
So I'm opposite?
So it's like this.
So mine's backwards. Yeah, mine's backwards then. I have two that would align to the front.
Okay. So we were both wrong, so I don't feel so bad.
Yeah. I'm gonna really quick just reference the doc to make sure that I'm understanding that correctly too. Let me just see what the picture looks like if I go.
But in the end, it doesn't really matter. It's just for having symmetry in the look. Okay.
Really?
I support that.
Steve's very much about.
I'm very much on board with that.
Yeah, that's sort of his MO. Yeah, like you had me at it's for the look.
Yes. Symmetry.
Yeah.
Symmetry. I'm in. I kind of, let's go back here. Okay, so now that is going to go like that. It's going to bend, it's going to point a little forward, and then we'll bend it around to the side. Okay.
So in order to have one of these
logos go on the side. Zombie, can we mute Zombie? I think it's time to mute Zombie.
Does this look? No, that doesn't look right. So let me see. Let me see yours.
What do we got? What do you want to see?
I just want to make sure I've got one pointed forward, but now the wires sort of go backwards instead of
I'll show you. Here.
All right, let me go here.
Okay. One pointing forward.
Yep.
Heatsink on top.
Yep.
Wires end up going this way. You see?
Okay, so
see how they go?
Right then.
And I'm waiting for Vez to say Steve is still wrong.
Okay. I think I've got it.
I know exactly what you were referencing, Zombie. I know exactly what you were referencing.
Is this my trident?
Huh?
Is he referencing my trident?
He put the front Z stepper mounts with the logos going to the side.
Like mine. Like mine.
Exactly what you're going to change, but that's okay because
change mine. You said that you were going to make a change to the trident that made it where it actually mattered, so that way it forced you to have it correct. That's funny that Zombie did it too, though.
So Vez is saying check the CAD if we're in doubt.
No,
the CAD has it going up the left side. It has the wiring for the Goliath going up the left side when everything I've heard is going up the right side. So
that doesn't work.
Which is correct.
I've got mine matching yours, Steve, with one pointing forward and then the wires going out the right side.
To be honest, Vez, I don't trust the CAD. There's so many little details like this that if we should be looking at the CAD for this, then we will, but
this feels like it has to be right.
Maybe I don't trust the parts. Maybe the CAD is right and I don't trust the parts.
Yeah, I feel like this has to be right.
Because I mean everything we've seen says the wires go up the right side, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, this looks, I don't know if you can see that.
Send it on the right or left side of the front. Okay, it says right or left side. Which way do you recommend? Let's go that way. Because we may have to change this again. Do we want to go up the left side or the right side? Which is easier?
Oh, you're right, the CAD is on the left, but again, it really doesn't matter, it's just for the look. All right, I'm leaving it as is. Steve, this is it.
Okay.
This is my final form.
Yeah, and I think if you look here, it looks like it lays into place pretty well right here, going up the right side.
Yep. Again, worst comes to worst, if it comes down to it at that point, it's not the end of the world to rotate this thing. So.
Yeah, and I take it back. The documentation says right or left side of the front. Then it says sending to the right will keep the natural bend of the wire. So I think this is where we want to be.
Okay.
And that's regardless, it's a good reminder. We should look at the CAD more. The CAD is, that web interface for the CAD just makes me not want to look at it though.
Why? Is your sock? I can't get my sock perfectly on anymore. Or maybe I just need to bend. Hold on, let me bend the wire a little.
I've got problem. Got a problem.
What?
These back screws bottom out on the second fin here. I don't know if you can see in my little view. The more recessed screws look like they're bottoming out on the, I guess this is the third fin.
Oh, because two of them are as recessed as the other two.
Yeah. And that says these should have been in 3x5 or in 2.5 by 5s. I think these are by 6s. Yeah, they're in 2.5 by 6s. Yeah, they're bottoming out before they tighten.
So sanding?
M2.5. They came with M2.5 by 6s, Vez. They're M2.5 by 6s. So something to note. Something to note for Mellow.
So you're telling me I'm getting my grind on again?
I think we might be, because we can't tighten. We can't unless you just tighten them into the aluminum. But I don't think that's a great idea. The front ones tighten just fine.
Yeah.
The rear ones are bottoming out before they're tight.
Okay.
There's not as easy of a way to hold on to these though, because we don't have 2.5 millimeter nuts.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to throw them into my vice grips, take out a file. You don't have 5mm other than...
I'm saying that's for sure, absolute for sure, we did not get 2.5 by 5.
Yeah.
Absolutely for sure.
Yeah, it came
they're
with
not even labeled on the little baggies they came with. These are labeled and they're measuring M2.5 by 6. So if the other folks got, or other earlier kits or something, they changed something. I don't know if I want to. I don't have a good way of, I mean, I could use my grinder, but I want a good way to recommend to you how to do this too without a grinder.
This is what I'm planning on doing, Steve, is gripping the top of the heads face up as much as I can with my left hand and just filing a millimeter off.
Is it going to be, okay, give it a shot.
It's not going to be nearly as great as having the M3 screws with the nuts to help secure it, because yeah, it's going to be rough. I have a feeling it's going to slip on me once I start sanding or filing, but this is the only thing I can think of right now, and I know it'll work. So yeah, yeah. Oh no, it's sliding already. Yeah.
It's because you only have that tiny little bit of the
super small
head to hold on to.
Think. What can we do? I don't know. That's not gonna fly. I can. Yeah, this isn't gonna work.
You don't have a 2mm drill, do you? 2mm drill bit?
Why?
You could drill some clearance.
Oh shit, you're saying just drill in the heatsink?
Yeah. You could drill.
I damn well might. Let's see.
If you drilled a 2mm hole, it would cut threads into the last little 0.5 millimeter it needs.
Yeah.
But you'd have to be super careful not to damage the threads that are there. I don't have any 2.5 millimeter nuts. Polar Ted is making a good suggestion. You might want to try this first. Do you have any kind of piece of plastic or something that you could drill a 2 millimeter hole in and then thread this into and use that to hold it with the pliers?
Sure. Well, I've got like an extra. Wait, you're saying so?
So if you had a small piece of plastic or something, you could drill a 2 millimeter hole in that's 5 millimeters thick.
Gotcha. That's the key. It needs to be 5 millimeters thick. This is probably like 3 mil, 2 mil. So together, this is 6.3. That is a great question. I do have. I must have a 2 millimeter.
People don't like my suggestion to drill into the heatsink.
No. 3 mil.
The jig is a better idea. The jig is absolutely a better idea.
Okay, so you're saying drill it to.
Ooh. I almost lost that screw. I'm gonna be looking at doing probably the same. I can't hold on to this well enough.
I'm gonna leave my. If you're here, I'm gonna run out to the garage and see if I can somehow find that Black & Decker Dremel. And just see, because if I can, then I can just use like some needle nose pliers to hold on to this and just try to sand off a millimeter of it in the garage. So I'm gonna give you the power. It's probably gonna take me, a few minutes. I'm just letting you know, Steve. But I mean, this is where we're at. I gotta look. So
no problem.
Okay, I'll be back. See you have the power.
We can't just drill and tap M3 into the heatsink because the little plate on top is really sized for these pieces. So what's going on? And maybe since we got a little bigger view here is, and we can't put any washers in here. There's no extra clearance. We have to have a shorter screw here, a shorter screw or more clearance in the heatsink. So as this threads in, it is bottoming out on this fin right here because there's extra clearance built in to these. For these two screws to go over the two screws, that hold the extruder on. So you can install the hot end later. We will check with Mellow for the 5 millimeter bolts. Yeah. So I am 100% confident, Veds, that the kits did not come with 5 millimeter bolt. It came with all 6 millimeters for this. That's not a problem on these front two because the extra head clearance isn't needed. The spacer is thicker here. Why aren't you using an old school crimping tool to cut the screw? Because I don't have anything for 2.5 millimeters for one. For those to work well, you need to be able to back those out through the threads to clean the threads up. And I don't have any M4 or M2.5 nuts to be able to thread onto here to clean up the threads either. So as it is, we're going to have fun with these threads. These are the only 2.5 millimeter screws in the kit, and they are just a slight bit too long.
I'm convinced it's all a bad idea. I was out there, I found it. I only found the cutting disc, but like you're saying right now, even if I take a sander to it, I'm concerned that I'm going to destroy the threads on these little screws. So I'm thinking maybe we move on to panels.
Yeah, well, we can probably mock this up still, put it on with just the 2 screws.
Okay.
But the low profile head here is key too. So just finding these somewhere We'll be able to find them on McMaster probably, but not anywhere that's going to be reasonable shipping and quick.
Yeah. Well,
the just having a Dremel or something like that, that's fine. But no matter what we do, we're going to goober up those threads on the end, and have no way to really clean them up. 2.5 millimeter threads, or the threads on a 2.5 millimeter screw, are really fine, and are going to be. It's going to be really tough to make sure that we're not gouging or destroying the threads on the heatsink as we thread this in.
I have a potential thing that I might end up doing, which is basically just sort of what Ted said, but after stream, like strategically printing out a plate of sorts that's the exact height, 5 millimeters that we want with the right everything, and then sort of using that, and then maybe I could use a rotary sanding disc to just have it go up to where the printed part, and once I see the printed part start melting or whatever, you know, unthreading it and going for it. That might be the best way to do it, but I don't have, like, to just find a piece of plastic that's exactly 5 mil and drill through. Like, I need to be specific towards it.
And it's not worth taking the time right now. Vez, do we have a tap kit? But that, I mean, we would need a die. We would need a 2.5 millimeter die, which I certainly don't have, and I would guess that Daniel doesn't have.
I do somewhere in the garage have a pretty good
2.5 millimeter die.
I don't know. I'd have to look. It's a pretty big set that I bought once upon a time, but I have only used like once, so I don't know. But I think, again, I think we just, for right now, yeah, exactly. It's yeah, we'll come back to it. I mean, the reality is we have to print out either different standoffs or the different shroud anyway, so we're gonna have to revisit.
Yeah, yep,
revisit
that's
this.
fine. So let's fasten this with the 2 front screws and at least get things on.
Okay.
We can't convert it to 3 millimeters. The head of a 3 millimeter is going to be too big to fit into these. Without doing a bunch of machining on something, it's a whole lot easier to source some 2.5 millimeter screws at that point. So I'm doing the chamfered side out. This should go in here. Might have to loosen these screws to make sure everything is lined up properly for that to happen. Yep, there we go. Loosen those a little bit and then retighten these. Oh, you got okay.
Wait, so you're just doing the 2, the 2 screws, exactly.
Yeah, just the 2 screws in front, and I had to loosen them a little bit to line up well enough for the PTFE tube to fit in.
Okay.
I have updated the CAD to have the nichrome wires on the right. Okay, thanks, Vez. Shortest 2.5 millimeter ultra low profile at Master is 6 millimeters. Thanks for checking that.
Who checked that?
Our Make RS.
Cool. Okay, so.
Ron or Rod? Ron or Rod? I don't remember.
Where did? Oh, here it is. Okay, so let's see if I can get this in.
And here I'm shaking a box in front of the screen with different M2.5 nuts and bolts. Yep. I've only used 2.5s for hot ends and only the fasteners that come with them. I think I bought 2.5 by 12s one time because they were needed in an earlier version of, I think, Afterburner that was different from, or maybe it was the first V0 or something. It was different from what came with the, thanks, Rod. I knew I just couldn't remember if it was Ron or Rod. Masumi USA has them. So I've got a link in my Discord chat, it looks like, from PF Dennis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Vez is going with my original suggestion, is drill the heatsink.
Really?
Honestly, why is it bad? If you used a pin vise where you could do it by hand to where you're not goobering up the threads, I bet you could do it well enough.
I can ship you guys some. Okay, I'm gonna just slide. I'm sliding my Goliath in place, man.
I even have M2 and M2.5 tap and die set. That's nice. I should get one. Okay, are we on the same spot now?
I think so.
What screws are used for that?
Wait, how?
Yeah, I agree, Vez. Worried about screwing up the threads. I'd be confident doing it myself. I'm sure Daniel would too, with the right tools. But in general, probably not for recommending anybody to do that.
Yeah. The for the wires.
That's why. And Jose, this is why I was saying you could probably do it with a pin vise pretty reliably. But I think a proper screw is probably the right solution. Where are we at?
So I slid the Goliath into place, and then we need what screws do we need for this?
These are
M3x6.
M3x6s. Are those more of the? I'm just going to use the low profile ones.
Yep.
You can cut the screw. This is the easy way. It might be easier to source some M2.5 nuts, Daniel, because I mean Simon Svez is suggesting to ship us some screws, but that's a lot of effort for a couple of screws.
I'm pretty sure that I've cut screws on stream using these bad boys, dude.
But you're gonna screw up the threads. You need. Yeah,
but then I can hand file that baby down, dude. Give it a nice little chamfer. I've done M3s. The issue is though, when the cut actually happens, one side of the bolt goes that way and the other goes that way, and these are small. So like I would almost want to like cut this in a confined little area where there's only so many places they could fly. But I've absolutely cut M3s down the size with these bad boys before.
If we can get some 2.5 nuts, that's the best. 2.5 nuts, grind it down.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And yeah, fortunately, Vez is here, PB is here. All of this is being relayed to Mellow.
Oh yeah, this shouldn't be this shouldn't be the case going forward. For anybody that gets this kit.
This shouldn't happen.
No.
And it's annoying. It's very annoying that it's happening. When do you do the giveaway? You have.
It's probably time. We'll probably be on time. I
don't have a clock. Did we hit? Yeah. Did we hit the light goal? Because I don't know if I can release that
file
jig without. Where are we at?
Snip them inside of a towel.
137 likes, but we have 165 people here.
Okay, we're gonna open up the giveaway right now, but hit like if you haven't. I'm gonna give it 60 seconds for everyone to hit the like button. That's funny. PB says that I should snip the wrap a towel. So like get the snippers in place, wrap a towel around my arm, and then cut it so that way it can't go flying. Cut the bolt with your hands.
Yeah, that's weird, Vez. I'm absolutely confident we didn't have by fives anywhere in the kit. I went through and listed everything. They were all in little individual baggies. I still have them. I still have every bag in the box still, so I can confirm. But I'm confident.
Sick. All right, we hit 155 likes. I'm gonna open up
the
giveaway. All right, let's see. What time is it? Okay. Oh yeah, I'm 14 minutes late. Nobody said anything. That's so wild.
They probably did, but we kind of drowned it out.
It's true. Where is my gift? All right, 1 second. Let me find the giveaway link. I'm gonna give here you go, Steve.
Me?
Yeah, just smile and look pretty, Steve. while I do this.
That doesn't, I can only do one of those.
Dealer's choice. All right, here we go. Ooh, send link.
Okay, so I just give a little better view here of this bolted in. The angle of these wires is good. We'll do a gentle bend later here.
It does go up against the your wires go up against your belt though, right? Like right now they do sort of towards that direction.
It goes that direction, but it's pointing slightly forward. So I think it's just going to be a grab this and do some gentle bending back in that direction.
Okay. Yeah. Did I post the giveaway link? I did. So I'm going to pin it right now. For anyone that doesn't or hasn't been here before for one of these, It's a spool of Polymaker filament. It's global. There's no limitations as far as where you can be at. All you have to do is click the link pinned in chat and put your YouTube name, an email, and a Discord name. If you don't have, you have to put location too, but it's global. That's just there as a checkpoint. But if you're in the United States or Canada, you'll get a $35 gift card that you can use to pick out any filament on their website or discount like a carbon filament and pay the difference. If you're in anywhere else outside of United States or Canada, then it's any PLA, ABS, ASA, or PETG except for exotics. So like Polylight's fine. I mean, Polytear is fine. Like really anything other than, again, specialty filaments. Antarctica, yeah, absolutely. They've got... yes, Nick from Polymaker gets on a sled and polar bears and brings it to you. Yeah, and I have no idea. Keep an eye on the new Polymaker Starlight colors. They are slowly being stocked. Ooh, pretty. Use my bot and Steve's referral code. Yeah, there is a link in the description, and it does also support the channel a bit as well and lets them know that we're sending some people over. So massive thank you to Polymaker. And because I was late, we're going to go until... it's 2:46 my time. We're going to go for half an hour from right now. So, sorry, everyone. I want to give at least 30 minutes for everyone to do it. You need to update the logo members for 12+ months. Ooh, you're right. I do. I need to come up with a little character for 1.5 years and then 2 years. Okay. I need to remember that, but you're right. I do need to create some sort of distinctive logo or different little thumbnail. Okay, so I'm not putting the nozzle on right now. The kit comes with a brass nozzle. And I'm going to be installing one of the Micro Swiss new like wear resistant nozzles in here. It's a standard, if I'm not mistaken, it's just standard V6 rep wrap threading. And I think Steve, I'm gonna go
with one of the Fabrico hardened nozzles with the little PTFE, or I don't know if it's PTFE, but the little anti-stick tip on it to give it a try.
Cool. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it off for now until I've got everything sort of finalized in place. Thomas, thank you for 13 months. Logo, yeah, I know, I will do it. Delmar, 16 months, thank you. Yeah, so I'll do one for, I've got 1 year is where I stopped at. I really didn't think when I was creating it, I was like, a year is so far away, and now we're like over a year and a half in. So yeah, or maybe not over, but we're getting towards it. So I'll come up with something. I just want to think about it a bit. Zombie, thank you for the banana. Classic. Okay, now that everything is restored in the universe, I think that's basically it on the hot end for now, right, Steve? Like, I mean, we basically...
Yeah, we have the hot end installed.
Yeah, so we need 2.5mm nuts. I still might try, depending on what the sourcing situation on 2.5mm nuts looks like, I might do what I said, which is print out something that's exactly like a block of sorts and see if I can just use that. Because in reality, if I do that and I have just that 1mm sticking out, I might be able to use these little snipper guys and not damage the threads, because it would only be that very end. So
it's gonna damage the threads, man.
You haven't seen how gently snap the ball. All right, Steve. All right, I'll do whatever you end up doing. All right, as long as it doesn't require like a sanding wheel or grinding wheel or something like that. You let me know what we end up gonna do. Let's see. Hi, BBs. So, do we want to? Let's see. What's next? Do we want to do the panels? There's the white end stop mount we can do real quick.
We can.
Which just goes. It was T-nuts we established, right?
Yeah. And we're not actually putting end stops in these because we're going to do that when it comes wiring time. But this gets bits and pieces installed onto the printer.
Yeah. Phil says there's plenty of options for... Oh, cool. Plenty of options for M2.5x5 on Prime shipping. But I don't think they're the ultra wafer thin flatheads, right? That's the biggest issue. If we just needed...
Really, all we need is some nuts right now.
Yeah.
Just a way of cleaning up those threads after you grind it down or file it down.
If Home Depot sells, I don't know if they do, their metric section is usually like pitiful. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It's really bad usually. So for this we want two... No, it says M4 by 8mm screw, one of them, but I think we need two of them.
I'm getting a So the CAD doesn't have the same Y end stop piece as we have.
Okay.
I don't know what to.
I'm gonna go based off of the image in here. Wait a minute. How? Yeah, no. Based off the way this looks, it looks like you could only fit one bolt in here.
You're
right?
looking at the CAD?
No, I'm looking at the schematic here. So like to wait, I'm
the
wrong.
CAD?
I'm looking
is that in the documentation? The guide? Oh. Yeah, it doesn't match what we have.
It doesn't match what we
let's
have.
Let's show Vez what we have.
Oh, here, I'll let you.
Okay.
Yep.
This is the piece. This is the piece that we have.
There's
holes.
Actually no way for us to get the end stop like that with this piece. Like the way it's pictured in their documentation.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
Does it go?
Phil says there was a few wafers that weren't the cheapest. Okay, I think we're gonna try with the nuts first, Phil, and if for some reason that doesn't work out, then we'll see what the backup plan is. But that's good to know.
I'm not 100% sure where this mounts is the problem.
Yeah, I'm not either. Okay, I'm thinking panels deep.
It doesn't really match the, and then if we look at, here, let me show the CAD. The CAD, this, here, let's hide this. Okay, get a little better view. This piece here, it doesn't match. It bolts to the underside of the extrusion in front of this front left stepper.
Wait, the CAD drawing though is closer to what would work than what's pictured in the actual. Yeah. Because at least with that one, you can get.
If we look at this from this angle.
Wait, no, I'm lying. I don't think.
I'm trying to figure out. So if that, I think that mounts there. Will it actually trigger? Yeah, maybe. I think maybe we mount it like this. Here, let me see if I can get a upper.
Only one of the holes has a T-nut, huh?
Well, there's two here, but if you see how I have it here? If this comes in, you see, can you get a view on my part?
Yeah, so, okay.
So that, and I think if we put it in under here like this, now you might be able to see.
Yeah, so that's the front left still, right?
Yeah, front left.
And you've got it like this. Okay, yeah, no, I do see
Docs is still the old printed version, and Mellow shipped it with the new CNC version, but it butts up against the bottom plate of the motor mount underside of the 2020. I think how I'm showing it here, right, PB? Am I catching it correctly? So, okay. I am going to use...
I'm just going to leave it. You got a good view for this piece. I'm going to leave it on you for right now, Steve.
And just going to use a couple. I'm going to put both screws in here.
Yeah, I am too.
4x10s. No.
I did 8s.
M4x8s. Yeah. And 4x10s bottom out. And Vez is confirming it's correct. Awesome.
Cool.
Okay. M4x8 is correct. And I'm just going to use hammerheads here because they're so close together too.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Awesome. Okay, so now this is going here. I'm going to snap into here. Now I know we don't have the end stop on there yet, but we've talked about that already. This at least gets the bracket in place.
Yep.
And that's going to go right there. Now this one, we can get the end stop on there without...
Easy peasy, yeah.
And then I guess we can adjust this to give some adjustment fore and aft if we need it. Fine tuning that end.
Correctly. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No problem, Vez.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out as long as you did. It's cool having you here.
For sure.
Okay, so... Now we can do panels. Actually, maybe not, because did we want to play around with tensioning No, we don't have to tension the belt prior to doing panels for the bed. Yeah, it's accessible. Okay, cool. Bottom and rear panel time.
We get to put feet on it.
That's so exciting.
Here,
I'm
you
very
can take it back.
About that. What?
You can take focus back.
Oh, I was like, I can take what back? Oh, damn it, I did the wrong thing. There we go. Okay, so we are moving on to bottom and rear panels. And we are going, it looks like they start with the back panel and then do the bottom. So I'm gonna do the same thing. You cannot tilt it on its face though because of the things protruding from the front. So it's gonna be,
I mean, you can tilt it on its face. It's just gonna sit on those.
I don't want it to
sit on the knobs.
I don't want it to.
That's a good. I agree.
All right. Let's see.
Bottom and rear panels. Are we gonna start with the bottom?
I'm starting with rear based off the instructions. That's how it looks like they have it set up.
Okay.
But
hey, Aaron, thanks for being here.
First one of these I caught live with both of you. I love these collabs. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, side. Alrighty, so I'm gonna peel off the cover.
What do we got? We're doing the back panel first?
Back panel first.
Back panel first.
It's got the nice logo. Uh-oh. Some of my blue plastic kind of melted too. There we go.
Did you drop it?
Oh, no, I didn't because thank God the plastic was stuck on. But the way it was falling and I'm barefoot, that could have hurt, dude. That could have really hurt. If you want to see ModBot dances on stream, like that's how you see it. That my heart's like, it was definitely a heavier pitter patter than I'm used to on stream. God. Be careful, Steve. Well, you're in the garage. You're probably. Are you barefoot? Or you got like what do you?
Oh no, I got shoes on, but they're not.
Okay,
they're not like steel toed or anything.
Yeah. That was terrifying.
Okay, what way? Let's pull all this off. Are you giving people a good peel view?
A what?
A good peel view.
Oh, peel view. I think so. Maybe,
I mean, it's important.
It's an aggressive. This is definitely not like ASMR peeling going on here. It's very much so like just trying to not hurt my toes after that.
Just get it done.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a nice little laser engraved logo, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks super cool. And then it looks, from what I'm seeing, oh no, one of the corners on mine's jacked up.
Oh no.
And I didn't do this.
Dropped?
Yeah, like I'll show it.
Yeah, mine got dropped on a corner too, but not bad.
See mine.
It's hard to see. On my view isn't great for stuff you're showing.
Oh. All right. Okay. Not the big deal. It's on the back anyway. But this is. It looks like it's perfectly mirrored. So I see every hole left and right. Looks great. Motors are accessible. So I don't think that there's
logo towards the front.
Yeah.
Logo
I guess
the inside.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yes, all panels. Almost curse bot. You're like, what material is that orange? This is Polymakers. We said ABS, right? Steve, not ASA. I was saying it wrong. It's the Galaxy ABS orange, not ASA orange.
Yes, yours is ABS orange. Mine's ASA green.
Yep. It's a gorgeous, it is a really, really nice filament. Let's see if I can show it. I think we when these came in, we looked at them on stream, but it's got a nice little sparkle to it. It's real pretty. Steve's using the same like series, the Galaxy series, but green and the ASA variant of it. For the ER visit copy.
My box was not damaged. Bez is asking if the box is damaged. He's asking
my box looked like hell. Yeah, my box looked awful when it showed up. Bez, two of the plastic corners that they shipped it with were taken off. I don't think it was a Mellow thing really. I think that when both Steve and my package got held up in customs for quite a bit before it left either China or Japan. I don't remember if it was China or Japan when we were looking at it, but and I think that customs looked in it and they didn't put it back together well. Because when mine showed up again, one or two of those black corners were completely off of it and it looked taped up again. So I think that these were inspected. I could be wrong, but I think that it was.
Here, if you can give me a focus, I just want to show the very minor this is what what I saw is it looks like this side. You can see it looks like this drops somewhere. It's very minor. It's not even going to be noticed, but just looking at details.
I got more of a chunk than you then.
This is a little flared here because it was looks like it was dropped on the corner.
Where is this? Hold on, damn it, camera. Yeah, here's my. Let's see if I get this to focus.
Oh yeah.
My corner's a pretty good chunk, dude.
Shipping is so hard. This is right. Shipping is so hard.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the back panel. No one will ever see it other than that I just showed it on stream. But like, no one would ever normally see it, and I won't pay attention to it. How are we?
I'm gonna use roll-in the ball spring T-nuts on all these.
Okay.
And
yeah, probably the better. It's all M4. It looks like, right? Depending on the number of screws used to screw your panels, optionally trim pieces are meant to use M3 hardware. Oh, trim
M3.
pieces.
Oh, trim pieces are meant to use M3. So where does it outline where needs to be M3 and where needs to be M4?
But I don't think we use trim pieces on the back. That wouldn't make. Why would there be trim pieces on the back? That seems like an acrylic thing to make it look pretty on the sides. Yeah.
Well, what about the power inlet pieces? Are those all M4s? It looks like it. Okay.
All these holes to me look like M4. Like all of them on this back panel look too big for M3.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I'm just gonna slide. I'll do the same as you then, because we haven't used them for anything, and this is something we absolutely want secure to save the toes.
Yeah. So for the, like on the back, the bottom holes.
Yep.
The back bottom ones.
Make sure that
you put the T-nut in such that the offset will reach.
Yeah.
If it's offset the wrong way, it won't fit, is what I'm thinking.
Hold on. I'm trying to think of a good way to. The camera angle I have for this kind of sucks.
Maybe just zoom out a bit.
It's just as far zoomed out as it goes. There we go. Hopefully this will work. Okay, I'm gonna try to just slide them from the top then.
Yep, that's what I'm doing on the sides.
Yep.
Just sliding them all down from the top.
So, and then I'll make sure before I start bolting anything that everything's aligned correctly. But yeah, it looks like the hole needs to be facing downwards for the bottom too, like you said.
Yeah.
And then the next two, wait, how many is there? So 1, 2, 3 more. Next two don't matter.
The next two don't matter?
Yeah, the next two, like, it doesn't matter the orientation of the ball.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah, they matter.
They matter.
Yeah,
right.
they absolutely matter. Yeah, I like that there's so many spots, because this is a pretty heavy panel piece.
It is.
There are links in live stream on your Discord for the screws. Heck yeah, thank you. Every time I look at the live stream channel after a stream, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Like, there's a lot of things that come up in discussion, and then I'm thankful that it's all curated nicely in one place.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm not perfectly lining any of them up right now, Steve. I'm just getting them roughly where they need to be.
And they're all perfect.
You say perfect. I would expect nothing less. Are you measuring? You're kind of measuring, aren't you? Okay.
No, I'm just lining it up by eye.
All right.
Panels are all M4 indeed. Thank you, PB. That's a great confirmation, because
yeah.
I would hate to have to pull these out later.
Yeah, I would not be super stoked. Okay. Hole. Alrighty. So now I need to do the horizontals, which won't be quite as fun, depending on how easy it is to get them in.
And there's a bunch of them. Huh?
I'm cheating, dude. I'm cheating.
You're cheating.
I know yeah, I'm doing the balls on the vertical, and I'm doing the hammerheads on top and bottom. So that way, because it's gonna be good enough, dude. Like, and this way I don't have to worry about trying to scratch. Like, it's so tight with the black.
But what actually mounts? Here, let's look at the CAD.
Okay.
Because what I'm thinking, are you giving?
Oh, here.
What
yes.
mounts on the back?
Someone's saying they found the exact screws we need for $1 each, dude. If that's the case, I'm gonna order them right after this for the.
So the question is, what ends up mounting here, in these holes?
Wait, aren't those are just for the panels to secure the panels?
That's what I'm asking. Is it just panels? If it's just panels, then yeah, hammerheads will be just fine. I just want to make sure that there isn't something else that gets sandwiched in there. In which case, you'd want to have a ball spring T-nut so it stays in place.
We're taking care of you, Daniel. Thank you, nice. What, out of curiosity, have you decided what bolt size or screw size we're using for all of these?
M4. PB confirmed everything's M4.
No, I'm sorry, I meant length. Like to get from panel into the.
It's gonna have to be by 8s.
Okay.
Hopefully we have enough of them.
This is a lot, dude. This is a lot of.
It is.
I don't
It is, but it's gonna have to be by 8s unless there's something that gets sandwiched in between.
Did I add an extra screw? I did, or an extra.
Extra T-nut.
Yeah. I'm gonna remove one.
I'll give you focus back.
Okay. There's not a whole lot going over here.
Yeah, but all I have is CAD up.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, because if that's the case, I'm just gonna thread the screws and T-nuts onto the panel, align it all, and pop it in place right now. I would rather do that than the spring.
Oh, I found my bigger something happened. What do you mean? It's another thing. It's never going to be seen, but there is a pretty good scar. Not scratch, but more of a dent.
Chunk.
Yeah, and but I'm going to take my file and get rid of that right now. Here, you can have it back.
Have what back?
Oh, you still have it. I was looking at the wrong screen.
Oh, I never gave you the power. Alright. PB says any M3 can be an M4 if you try hard enough. Perfect. I mean, I guess we could use M3 by 8 T-nuts for the top and bottom and use M4 for the sides, but because I don't think Okay. Well, I have 20 M4 by 8s that came with my little kit that I bought off Amazon.
Do we not have enough normally?
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's cutting it close, and this is not even including the bottom panel.
And we're going to need M4 by 8s for the bottom?
I don't know. This is me assuming, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
That's a good assumption, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do. I know I don't have many, but we'll do what we can.
Yeah.
Pops,
so I'm going
just
hammerheads.
panels. Okay.
Hammerheads, baby.
I went with the ball spring T-nuts.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, if only I could teleport you over here. I'd love to see if you're like, oh yeah, I know your paint or like your extrusions are tougher than mine. Like, you know, or you can be like, no.
Some of them have been tougher than others, and I'm pretty sure these aren't anodized.
Okay.
I found a chip in one of mine that doesn't really, I could be wrong, but it doesn't really seem like an anodized chip. It seemed like some other kind of coating. I don't know if it's paint or if it's something else.
Okay. Well,
so in which case it would probably, if it is a coating, then it's going to have some impact, and it probably has some inconsistent impact on how tight those are.
Yep. Thank you, Steve. Makes me feel better.
That's what I'm here for.
This is actually my therapy session with Steve, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Steve. Lisa, 14 months. Taking a break to check on you too. Looking good. Thank you. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, we're making good progress. We are going to have to do a bit of tweaking on the Goliath, or just the tool head in general, between now. Oh, cool. The bottom only has one center one. Yeah, Yeah, we're gonna do some tweaking on the hot end before next stream. Or maybe not really. I mean, next stream's probably gonna be more mounting of electronics, so we'll see. We'll do our best. Okay. All right, let's see if I can align these hammerheads. Nope. Yep. Yeah, I did it. Nope, I didn't.
I like these little cutouts in the back to be able to still get to the
motors.
Pulleys. Yeah.
Yep. Really nice.
Oh, kind of critical too.
Baby. All right. So I'm going to start tightening things.
M4x8s. We are severely short.
Like heavily short. Like we need another like 30 or so with this.
Well,
right? Like
what does the bottom panel need is really the question.
No.
I don't know that it's a powder coat either. It's very thin if it's a powder coat, Shammy. It's a super thin powder coat.
It would be kind of cool to know what it really is, you know?
Yeah.
Like if Mellow would just say, hey, this is what it is. Because yeah, I agree. I mean, for one, the texturing doesn't feel right. I know that you said that on LDO kits they sandblast or something like that, and so I know that those have more of a texture. But even not them, like I feel like, and like if you, I mean, just look at all the CNC parts that come in this kit, right? Like as a comparison for what their anodization looks like when they've done it, and it looks substantially different than what's on the extrusions on this. So
I am, oh boy, I am 100% out of M4x8s in my own stash. You know what I do have a bunch of those M4x6s, and I think they may actually work.
Yeah, I think they'll work for at least the, not the hammerheads, because the hammerheads you usually need a little bit more to get them to turn. But for the spring ones that you went with, they're probably good.
I'm going to switch out some of these for M4x6s, because I think they are going to work.
Building a tool carts out of wood, so tired but good, nice.
Nope, M4x6s don't. M4x6s
oh really?
don't
You can't even grab the thread?
No.
Gotcha. Ted's
it started to grab, but it was like half a thread and it just pulled it.
Yeah, not enough for it to make sense. Yeah, I'm getting low on my extra 20 that I bought.
Yep.
Okay.
I have exactly enough for the back panel. Every spot is in the back panel. So I can actually pull some of these in order to just get things done and replace them later, because there are far
There's
more.
Tons. There's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna finish tightening this down, and then I'm gonna do the Polymaker giveaway. If you have not signed up, it's still going. I would say you've got like 2 or 3 more minutes, and then I'm gonna pull it. So if you have not, the link is pinned in chat, and it's for a spool of Polymaker filament anywhere in the world, including Antarctica. So definitely, there's a lot of great printer food over at Polymaker, so definitely sign up. And then we will draw. And yeah.
Where do these bolt in? Do these bolt to the bottom of the...
Talking about the feet?
No, I'm talking about these guys. These that go on the power supply. I'm kind of looking at future. Oh, these actually do sandwich in. Okay.
So we're gonna take stuff off?
Some
of them are longer, huh? You're saying some of them are gonna be longer?
No, there's 2 things that I'm noticing here, and if you want to give me...
Steve, yep.
Huh?
You have the power. You have the power.
So we have this part here, and there's one on both sides. And if we look, it's going to use screws that go through longer screws. So there's some of these that we're gonna recover, because these aren't these extrusions aren't from LDO PB.
Yeah, there's no way. I've used enough.
LDO. Unless, well, I shouldn't say that. LDO may have a different line.
Oh shit.
But there's an additional screw on the bottom that isn't going to, let's see, if we, no, that's not what I wanted. We take this and hide it, this screw doesn't get populated on the bottom. Do you see that?
Sorry, I was looking at Mario, just saw that I didn't put any I didn't realize there was the middle extrusion. I completely ignored it, and so my panel is on, yet I have no T-nuts in the middle extrusion that need 3 T-nuts.
Oh, neither is mine. I did the same thing.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's why that's why I said, oh shit. ABC. So you're saying, okay, the bottom one just doesn't get a bolt at all?
There's no spot for it. Here, first of all, these are in 4x12, so remember that. We're gonna need them 4x12s for that. If we show all objects, see the printed part is in the way of that bottom screw. So
you can't
basically that bottom one can go away too.
Okay, so on both sides, remove the bottom ones.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna really quickly redo.
So I gotta pull all this apart anyway. You can have focus back.
Yeah. I'm sad about that.
The bottom one's going away, so we need to pull that and the T-nuts.
Yeah.
I'm not too sad because now I have screws that can be used for the bottom.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so I'm going to pull this panel off.
The next two are going to be M3x12 or M4x12s. So those get recovered.
Yeah, I'm going to leave them as what they are for now, though. I mean, in your case, maybe not because you don't have... I've got a few extra since I bought extra, but once I pull this back panel off, we're going to do the giveaway. I'm not going to correct it and reinstall it and then do it, so... But yeah, thank you for seeing that. I would have realized it at some point when I'm like, wait a minute.
I was trying to picture what else goes on the back here, and I'm...
Hey,
how do the I'm curious how the DIN rails attach. Do they just attach?
Can't be VHB. There's got to be, right?
There's no holes. There's no fastener holes for them.
So you're saying you think it is VHB? I guess they're not holding very much, are they? Like, they're only going to be primarily Wagos. And then, like, the SSR, even though I'd prefer that not be
controller board. Controller board. What it changes is our grounding strategy. Because if those aren't mechanically fastened, if the DIN rails aren't mechanically fastened to the thing, then the SSR is not grounded. So we'll have to ground that separately.
Okay. Okay, so I took out 2 T-nuts.
So 3 of them go in the middle.
All right, I'm closing the giveaway. So I'm gonna remove it. Let's see, remove and then unpin. So if you're filling out the Polymaker giveaway, like you have to actively filling that right now because the link is gone. You've got 60 seconds. By the time you hear my voice, it's too late because of the delay. So let me go ahead and remove this, unpin message.
You have to drill your own holes for the DIN rails. The board and the drivers are too heavy for VHB. Yeah, I agree, Simon. I agree that they would be too heavy. So I'm not thrilled with having installed something and then just later having to drill, though.
You have the camera, Steve. I'm giving it to you while I do this giveaway stuff.
Oh, okay, let me do this then. So
hey, we have 173 viewers. Thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. We only need 13 more to get to 200, which is awesome. All right, so giveaway form.
Now we're back to the... If you and ModBot need some custom cut DIN rail, just holler at me. I can do up to a meter.
Ooh,
these
sick.
Came with some, and that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, it would be cool to get the split, like smaller DIN rails, you know, like the ones that are in the CAD or that we saw.
Yeah.
Let's see, download responses.
Oops, I forgot to pull off the
nuts on the bottom.
Yeah. And I can probably get to them afterwards, but I'll do it right now. I'm gonna need lots of IPA and cloths to clean all the fingerprints off that panel.
For a sec, when you first started your sentence, I'm gonna need lots of IPA. Like I pictured you like because of the things that we have to do, like just having a few beers after.
Lots of beers.
Yeah, I'm gonna need quite a few drinks. All right, replace existing. Okay.
Are we at over 180 likes now?
Yeah, we were when I checked a second ago. Nice. What are we at? likes. I can't see actually. I shortened my screen. Okay, so we have a total of 164 entries. All right. Ooh, we're at 198 likes. We're at 200.
200.
We did it! Yeah. Hold on, let me do.
Okay,
I don't know.
I guess I can post my
your
PTFD jig now.
All right, we're doing some air horns and then pizza. Nice. All right. That's
you
awesome.
can cut linear rail. Oh, linear rails. No, I wouldn't want to do it with a handsaw. You're talking about like MGN rails? I wouldn't.
All right, I'm taking it back, Steve.
What? Oh yeah, take it.
The screen. All right.
Take it.
All right, here we go. We got the wheel of mod builds, and let's see. Let's paste all of our names in here. There we go. 164 people. Awesome. All right. So one more time before we do this, thank you to Polymaker for allowing us to do this. They sponsor giveaways weekly on both my on this channel as well as over on Steve's channel, and they just support a ton of people in the community. So they're awesome. And Zombie says eek. So thank you for allowing us to do these giveaways. And again, if you haven't been in one of these before, I will send you an email at some point tonight, and it'll have a form where you it's hard for you not to laugh. I'm still we'll have a form where you can choose again the filament you want, depending on if you're in the States and Canada or not. So Steve, what's our range?
We got 200 likes, so it's got to be 0 to 200.
Gosh. Okay, yeah, that sounds odd. I can't click that many times. All right, 0 to 200 is our range. So let me know in chat how many times we got to shuffle.
That half of me looks like I'm concentrating, trying to line up our faces better, is what was going on there.
I'm just happy to be here. All right, we got 62, no, 69, 42, 42, 69. All right, 69 and 42, or no, 69's in the lead. 42, all right, those are tied.
Yeah, you definitely want to cut off wheel or something for rails. Someone was commenting.
All right. Well,
so the last time I did a big number like that, I gamed it. I gamed the system.
Okay.
So someone picked something like, I don't know, I think it was 69.
69's winning so far. Yeah.
I think it was 69, and I counted by threes, right?
Oh.
You see? You gotta...
I see. Steve, I'm 69-1, and I'm there's no time for games here, Steve. I'm just clicking it 69 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
awesome.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
5,
7, 8,
7,
9, 20.
30,
1, 2, 3, 4,
20,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30.
15,
1, 2, 3,
42,
4, 5, 6, 7,
69,
8, 9, 40.
5,
1, 2,
9,
4, 5, 6, 7,
12,
8, 9, 50.
15.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I would not. If someone said like, I will bet you money you misclicked, I wouldn't doubt that we're somewhere in a range of 5 away from 69. But here we go. Good luck, everybody. 3, 2, and the Steve and Dan wheel go. Here we go. Oh, geez. Who is getting it? It looks like Jim Macrobot, you are our winner. Congratulations. I will reach out to you later today again with the form, and you can pick your filament, or it'll get a gift card depending again on where you're at. But congratulations. That was the most entertaining wheel of names I've ever done. So thank you all.
Gotta have fun with it, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's get back into business. So things that I need to do. I've already removed the bottom ones, which is great. I'm sticking with M3 or M4x8s for all of them, and I need to add for the center extrusion. How many is it, Steve? It's 3. 3.
3 for the center extrusion.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna do T-nuts or hammerhead nuts for those as well. 1, 2, and 3.
It's kind of a bummer that the most likely spot for the DIN rails is, and if we drill holes to mount them, is probably going to be going through the VZ logo in the back.
I don't like that.
What are other options? We'll
Yeah, I
have
don't
to
like
brainstorm some other options.
that. Why can't we? Why can't we? Yeah, I don't like that. Let's cross that bridge when I think that I'm confident that we'll find a solution that doesn't require that. But I don't know what that solution is right now.
I'm sure somebody will have some suggestions too.
Yeah.
We'll think of things and.
Well, I mean, in reality, why can't we tap into like, so these middle just thinking these middle bolts that we have going on right now, if we swap them out for longer screws and I don't know. I need to see them. I can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't want to destroy that logo. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can once again align.
Don't worry, there are 99 more logos left on this printer.
Yeah, but the back,
you know what?
so
those of us in the custom hobbyist 3D printer realm like our logos. I mean, look at the Voron. Look at all the printers. They got logos everywhere.
Oh shit! I put one of the. No, I didn't.
You put what?
Nothing. It's just like it's tougher to align the T-nuts when there's or the hammerheads when there's quite so many of them. I'm gonna go here. See me take the camera while I struggle with this for a minute, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just
let's
whatever.
go here then, because I've got a back panel on.
Nice.
And so someone was talking about why don't we use the screws for the rear extrusion, and those go right across here. We're not going to be able to put a DIN rail there without getting in the way. Like here's the hole where the CPAP line goes through. There's probably I think there's a piece in here that guides the CPAP through. The CPAP fan itself mounts over here. Things go across here. So this is kind of out. So it's got to go across. There's one rail that goes across somewhere around here for the controller and the SSR and the 5160 drivers, the 45160 drivers. That all goes here. And then there's a couple of more that go down here that are just for general wire management purposes. And we'll probably mount clip-on Wago mounts to those for the AC wiring. And most of our AC wiring is going to be kept down here at the bottom part of the printer. Power supply goes on either side here, sticking out. Hanging them vertically from these screws is a very real possibility, for sure. The minor concern, is that suddenly there's not a second mounting point to keep that from just flapping and vibrating. The other is we really want to properly ground this system. So one of the nice things is the power supplies bolt directly to this back panel, which means this whole back panel is grounded, which means probably, we'll double check, but probably the whole frame is grounded at that point. We'll have to think a little more about how to attach these.
Struggling here. It's the T-nuts, man. The hammerhead nuts. I just can't get the center. Like, it was really easy for me to align top and bottom, but the center ones, when coming into play, when I try to align them, it's just causing other things to spin, I guess, is what I'm getting at. So I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do.
I think it's probably reasonable. We might be able to do to the outside a couple of screws holding in a DIN rail, 2 screws holding one DIN rail more towards the outer ends is going to avoid the VZBot logo. And we can probably just put some button heads in from the front because we already have some spots with fasteners going through this panel, so it's not going to look too far off. So I think if we drill a couple of holes right about here and mount that rail across here and then put a button head from the front and just a nut on the back with a washer, I think is going to be good.
This is one of those situations where trying to take a shortcut might have been the long cut. Like I'm at the point now where it's like
you're traumatized by the ball spring T-nuts.
Maybe. Yeah, this is not fun. I'm trying to think now if I get the middle in first.
I guess I can further visualize this for folks. These are probably not the final length though either. Hey, Charlie, you're awake. Just chilling. Hey, you know what we can do right now?
What?
Charlie treat time.
Yes.
I've already got control of the camera. Charlie's awake, but he's still gonna go. Anyway, this would go right across here, and I think that's probably pretty perfect. Just a bolt on each end. Drill 2 holes. I think that's probably not a bad idea. Anyway, Charlie treat time. Are we ready?
I don't know if I'm getting this panel on right now, dude. I'm about ready to just call it.
I would go back and conquer your fear of the ball spring T-nuts and put those in.
I think that what I should at least do is do the ball spring for the center rail, because I know top and bottom I can get piece of cake with these hammerheads, but the middle one, as long as those aren't fighting me, then I can, that's what it is.
Can you slide on the middle rail? Slide the ball ends from the sides?
Can I slide from the side? Oh, Steve! Steve, I can slide them from the side. Oh my god. Yeah, that's the play. I didn't even realize that, but I absolutely can.
What happened to the view here? Oh, whatever. We're gonna give Charlie some treats.
Dude.
We ready? Okay, we ready? Oh, there he is. Never gets old. There you go, Charlie. It's over there. Make sure you level your rail. Yes. Charlie
zombie?
treats are coming.
Yeah, it was zombie. I was like, it sounds like something zombie would say.
Of course it's zombie.
Oh, shit.
There you go, kitty. Why is Steve a small window? I was wondering the same thing, and I probably have something wrong in my seam, John. I'm not gonna bother messing with it right now.
What is it?
The seam I have here is a little odd.
Funky.
Okay, one more, Charlie.
All right, so I've got the spring nuts in place. Now I just got to align them. Let's see. There's one.
What are you doing, Charlie?
There is
Okay.
2.
I'll wash my fingers.
All right. I think we are back in business.
Are you chewing at the back of your mouth? It sounds weird.
Me?
No, Charlie.
Oh, I was like, no, Steve. Sometimes I do like that, like throat scratching sound thing when my allergies get really bad in there, and it drives me crazy. So I was like, I'm not doing that though right now. There we go. Okay, top is on, bottom is on. The crowd goes wild. Yes. Okay.
One more for me. My fingers are clean now. He's good. He's still chewing on it. Why not use countersunk M3 bolts from the front and nuts with washers on the back, so at least it's flush with the panel? That would work too. It's just a little more, and it's only a 3mm panel. There's not a lot of room, but there's already button heads, M4 button heads coming from the front. So just a couple more isn't gonna mess up the look.
All right,
okay.
I'm gonna take it back, Steve.
Yeah, take it back.
All right, all I'm doing is just finishing up this panel now, but we're in good shape now. That was much better solution, was using the spring, especially since they can be slid in. Oh, come on, did I not align it correctly? No.
What'd you miss?
Nothing, just one of them.
Isn't lined up right?
It's lined up enough where I can get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, not great. Weird. That doesn't feel like it's clamping very well. Huh. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Or maybe I guess it's possible that the thread on the on that particular one wasn't that great. I've purchased plenty before where some of the threads on the spring nuts aren't that great.
Aren't wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, then we'll flip this over in a second. And I think you said 2 more from each side are going to be M412s, right? Like once the, or at least 1 more on each side will be when we do the power supply mounting.
Two more, 2 on each side. The
Nice.
bottom 2. So the bottom 3 don't put anything in. The bottom 3 on each side don't put anything in.
You're just leaving them out?
Yeah.
Okay. Sick. I'll do that too then, so that way. Because I know that I have extras, but I don't think I have a ton of extras. So
yeah.
I will.
The bottom 3 don't get anything. So right now the sides is just 2, 5 along the top, and 1 on the bottom, and 3 in the middle.
Sides is just 2. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
1 on the bottom, 5 on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And then 3. Yep. Cool. Awesome. I did it. Yay. Okay. Now.
Hey, Eggy boy. We're doing well.
Oh, Eggy's here. How's it going? Okay.
So we got printed feet.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna flip this on its back on the panel I guess we just did. Oh. And
printed feet.
Slide this out of the way. There we go. Okay, so for the feet, it's showing insert all the hardware into the printed feet and mount the rubber feet inside. So let me get my feet out. There they are. Do you have, did your feet come with little like spacers?
Yeah, printed spacers?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't quite sure what those are for.
Okay. Something tells me they're gonna need to go. I mean, the only slot they can really go, it looks like. So maybe the rubber feet need more of a standoff, like they're too recessed. I don't know.
I'm gonna look at the CAD.
Okay. I'm gonna grab Zombie. Thank you for the coin, $1.49. Cheers. What I learned from Nero's VZBot stream: build a VZ235. Wait, what? What happened on?
The VZ235 is giant. I mean, the 330 is ginormous.
Oh, is that the reason why? It's just too damn big.
It's a big printer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my
orbiting
feet. Where are the feet, dude? Like the rubber feet. I don't see them.
I don't quite understand the CAD.
Okay. Maybe it's inside standard parts. I'm gonna look in a sec. Oh, that can't be right.
When are you releasing the PTFE cutting jig? I can throw it out on my GitHub today. Alfoncito.
Okay, so looking at the instructions in here, so it's definitely because the feet are too small, Steve. Like if you put the rubber feet inside of that hole, the foot doesn't even stick out.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you put the spacer in...
Where did I put my feet? What box were they in?
They were in the box with all of the, yeah, I don't know, Steve. All my stuff's moved around, so it wasn't technically in a box right now at all.
It's okay, I can find it.
Yeah, so the feet are pretty low profile. If you look at them from the side, it only sticks out ever so slightly, and that's with this included, or I guess not included, but with the printed spacer. If you don't put the spacer in, then the feet are, they're not doing nothing, so. I'm just not used to. It's cool. It's pretty cool looking. They're very low profile. Like I mean, they just stick out enough to give you some grip. So let's see.
Where?
What do these thread into then? Oh, there's.
I don't know where I put my feet. My feet.
My foots.
Oh, they're there. They are pretty low profile.
Yeah. So we need for the feet.
What do we got?
It doesn't show what the hardware is for the feet anywhere, does it?
Oh yeah, they definitely need spacers. But
yeah.
So what I'm curious about, you're on a live view there. Let's look at the, let me, here, if you want to give me, I got the CAD up.
Okay.
Oh, I guess it showed in your view too. The view that you have is fine. It's fine.
Okay.
The question I have is those. No, what the shared screen? Yeah. What are those self tappers that are there for? Those coarse threaded screws. What are those for?
Something tells me it might be a different. Something tells me it might be a different foot that maybe had like an accent part or something like that. I don't know. It's just a guess.
Yeah.
Wait. Also, so the feet have two smaller holes and a bigger hole. So the bigger one goes into the extrusion.
Oh,
and the
straight
other
into
one,
the end of the extrusion?
Yeah.
Is the end of the extrusion tapped?
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm looking at it right now. It is.
Okay,
yeah.
awesome.
Yep. I just don't see listed the hardware needed for this. Or M4, okay, so it looks like M4 by 25 is what's going into the side of the extrusions. M4 25s, where are we? Do we have that? M4 20s. I don't think the kit came with M4 25s. In theory, though, I think we should be able to use M4. Are 20s long enough? I think 20s might be long enough. Let me check.
These?
Yeah, 20s are long enough. So use 20s instead of 25s for the. Wait, no, this isn't right.
Those are for screwing it. Oh, those are for screwing it to the table. That makes sense.
Oh, they're wood screws.
Got it.
It did say optional up top. I just didn't connect the dots.
Instead of using wall break. I get it. Okay. Fixing it to a table. Good call.
Okay, so
I have a
M5 by
question.
25s. Yep.
You have spacers, right?
Yep.
That we think are for the feet.
Yep.
Right? They're not a 4mm hole down the middle of them.
Oh, they're.
The hole in the maybe the screws are these M5s that came with the feet. There's screws in with the feet. There are screws in there with the feet.
So you're saying that's what you think we use?
Those are M5s. I don't think we actually use those.
Okay, it should be M4s.
M4 by 20s?
M4 by 20s. We need 8 M. That doesn't. Yeah. No.
For the feet themselves.
Yeah. To go into a nut.
Yeah, these still are too tight. This is dumb. The clearance on these parts is not wonderful. Here, you want to give me?
Sure.
Let me sanity check me. We've got a hole here, right? The foot. So a spacer goes in here, right? And then the foot goes here. And then a bolt goes through the whole thing.
Yep.
First of all, is this an M4 that goes through the whole thing?
I feel like it has to be an M4.
Yeah, because that's... So PB, suggestion, my thoughts here is none of this is actually clearance. I think these are all might be modeled to the exact dimensions. There's not enough clearance for actual...
Mine go right through, Steve. I think it's your printed, like the printed parts that they gave. Mine go right through. Like I can show you mine if you want to see, but it slides through with no effort at all.
Goes right through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's frustrating. Yeah,
look, just so you, I mean.
They just go right through?
Yeah, with like no effort at all. Can you see my camera? Like.
No, I'm off. Looking for a drill bit.
Yeah, they just go right through.
Okay, I found a drill. I'm gonna drill these. I wonder what I'd have to look at the part. I want to look at the part, see if see what the hole is modeled at. Either that or these are highly over extruded. They're either highly over extruded or the clearance in the model might not be enough.
Yours are just yours carbon fiber feet or no?
No, this is the green ASA parts.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's just standard.
I'm just drilling my own clearance holes. Do I have an actual drill around here instead of doing this by hand? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now I can do it. Ah. Oh, I'm in the wrong. There we are.
I'll give you
No,
you want camera?
I don't want camera.
All right. Like I'm just tightening feet.
I'm just drilling out parts.
Sadly attempted to watch Airplane 2 the other day. What a piece of crap from Printers. Alright. Ted says, my wife wonders why I keep my drill next to my desk. This is why.
Yes.
I too keep a small drill in my studio, like at all times, for just you never know when you're gonna need to force hardware through something.
Okay, now what did we say? These are supposed to be M4x20s.
You knew we were joining a foot stream? What do you mean? Wait, am I feeding camera? No.
Okay, M4. Did M4x20s work for you?
Yeah, perfect.
M4x20s worked for you.
Yeah. Why?
The M4x20 won't go through on mine.
I don't. You're saying it doesn't have enough distance?
Yeah, it stops. This is fully inserted, and it doesn't reach the nut pocket.
That doesn't make sense unless I label my stuff wrong.
How thick is the spacer you're using?
Can we take a foot apart? I have them all done. I can
You
take
have
it
them all
apart.
done?
Yeah, dude.
This is new to me. I'm behind.
Oh, I get it. Dude, geek.
Huh?
That was way over my head. Someone said, who knew this was a foot stream? Like, I'm literally building feet, and I asked about my feet. Yeah, that was well over my head. Yeah, I'll take one apart for you, Steve. Let me see what the...
M4x20 doesn't work for me. What do we have here? We have M4x...
They're socket heads, right, what you're using?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't... Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. Where'd my calipers go?
I can go look for some 25s. 25s would work.
Well, it doesn't make sense, though, why mine would work and yours doesn't. Like, something's got to be off. What the hell happened to the calipers? I used them earlier for something. I don't see them. I dropped them on the floor earlier.
What are the side screws?
I don't know. I only know the big one. The bigger one's an M5.
They are M4x20s as well. I don't have enough M4x20s if I'm using M4x20s for the rubber feet.
I don't either. You're saying, wait, no, that can't be right.
What?
No, the side ones are oh shoot, are they M4s? You're right.
It says M4x20 in CAD.
Okay. So something's off again. Okay, so maybe it's M4x25. Did our kit come with those?
No. Did yours actually screw together though?
Yeah, they did. All of them. Like,
how?
I can watch. I don't know.
Maybe we got different feet.
Where's my overhead? Yeah, mine go at least like over halfway through the nuts.
Yeah, mine do not. I have a spacer that's about 5 or 6 millimeters thick, and a foot, and
So I'm gonna take out all of the bolts that I use for the feet and swap them out with button heads because I have M420 button heads from the kit that I ordered on Amazon.
Okay.
So that way I at least have enough of the socket head to use for the other portion of this. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't see my calipers anywhere either, Steve, so I apologize.
That's
I can't
okay.
measure.
It's okay. I'm checking. I had a little goober in the part. Let's see if that makes any difference. Whoa. No, that doesn't make any difference. I grabbed a tool and the PTFE tubing was coiled around it and it went flying and it threw a bin of parts all over the place. Okay. Are you still there?
Good. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just looking at this part. Because like 25s would be too big. Like 22s would be perfect. Like I'm able to get a couple of threads into these nuts, which is probably enough, right? I mean, it literally just needs to hold the rubber foot in place.
What is this? Do they just go through? Yeah, they go through the panel. Okay.
Leave this like that. I think that's good enough.
I am gonna go grab some. Oh, and this panel got dropped on its corner too. Someone at Mellow has some Butterfingers.
You think? Oh, because you're saying your box was fine.
The box is fine. This is all stuff that happened pre-packaging.
Yeah.
Someone at Mellow has Butterfingers.
It gives me a super funny image of like a cartoon character running around the factory or like, you know, the office and just like, oops, like, you know, like, oh, again, that's like the third time today.
I was just looking at the bottom panel and it's got a
chip.
A corner. It's just a dented corner. It's not a huge deal. It's just, come on, let's tighten up the shop, guys. The spacer for the feet is scalable. Well, it doesn't help when we were provided with parts that are supposed to work with the fasteners that were supposed to come with the kit. I'm sorry. A little bit of frustration is showing through. I'm going to be right back because I'm going to go grab hopefully some M4x25 hardware. I'm going to see if we get screwed up. I'm going to put myself on mute and see if it affects the audio when I come back.
Okay, sounds great. Good luck.
Yep.
Depending on if it's for a Chunksy feet or Mellow feet. Oh, gotcha. Because the VZ initially was like primarily meant to be a conversion, right, of the Chunksy. At least like that's the base printer that I've seen people use. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I've got one last foot. And then I think I can get these installed. Where? Wait a minute. Oh, I was like, where'd my foot go? C-Build is having a touch jam. I think it's just this part, right? Like everything else, it's been the same on both of our ends. But yeah, I don't know why. I'm not sure why. The only thing I think of is what Steve is saying. Then his spacers must be slightly different because I would imagine we have the exact same feet, you know, and I doubt these screws are. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Like. They don't thread all the way through flush, but it's enough to where, I mean, again, the rubber, oh, the rubber is slipping.
My spacers are a little over 5 millimeters thick.
Okay. Why is this?
But fortunately, I have a bunch of M4x25 hardware.
I think I might have damaged one of the feet.
How? Tightening it too much?
Yeah, there's no. Unless these are different feet, dude. This one doesn't look like it has any kind of a metal insert. Like they normally have a metal insert.
Oh, is that?
Let's see. This one has
mine
a metal
all
insert.
have metal inserts.
This one has a metal insert. This one has a metal insert. This one doesn't have a metal insert. One of them does not have a metal insert. Unless it's hidden underneath the rubber. But the way this one's deforming and still spinning, I don't think it has that insert. So I'm just not gonna tighten this last one down as well. And worst comes to worst, even if these nut pockets are hidden, I should be able to just order. I mean, these are fairly standard feet. I can just order some and install them if need be. But yeah, the rest of them don't spin because that that little metal piece is helping them stay in place, but on the rubber one, it just spins indefinitely, which is a bit of a bummer. Yeah, that's as far as I'm doing it. Okay, I think it'll be all right. Are you using... I'm just going to use hammerheads for these feet. We've got the one big bolt that's going into the extrusion channel itself. So...
these M4x25s aren't going to work. And Shammy's absolutely right. I think I'm getting a stack up of frustrations right now.
Yeah.
We've had wrong screws for hot end. We've had even down to weird things with the feet. This isn't going to work. Here, if you wanna give me
Sure, yeah.
focus.
Yep.
Unless this part is going to have it's going to sandwich an aluminum plate between here and like here, right?
Yeah, it has to be flush.
It's got to be flush. And
Yep.
now an M4x25 sticks through.
The only thing that makes sense, Steve, is that the spacer you got is a different thickness than mine. That's the only thing that makes sense. It has to be the case.
An M4x25 sticks through, and an M4x20, let me just confirm the length, doesn't even touch the fastener. I mean the hex nut. Doesn't even hit the hex nut. So
Yeah. Nice just taking have a great night. Nice.
see you, nice.
VZBot. Yeah.
The
What do you want to do then, Steve? Do you want to call it, or do you want the only thing I would be doing is moving forward and installing the feet with the bottom panel.
well, if
you can't do it,
yeah, I mean the feet themselves are under flush. So now I've got to calculate the exact length of spacer I need, but even so I guess I need to go with a thicker spacer, maybe. Because that's not a lot sticking down a lot.
mine doesn't have more than that. Mine arguably has less than that. Look at again, you can't probably.
Well,
see,
yours
but
has less than that, is why you have different spacers.
Yeah.
The coordination of what comes in the kit or what should come in the kit versus what parts to print is something that needs to be worked on. And I know it is being worked on, and that's a good thing. But I'm still a little frustrated today.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I pictured
Yeah.
any issues I pictured today was self-inflicted, not part of the kit. So, Jose says you can shim inside the feet.
Yeah. Let's do that. Keep it rolling.
Okay.
Let me see how I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna grab that and that. I'm gonna go these M3x25s, and I'm gonna try putting just a nut on this side as a spacer. This is a temporary solution.
I don't think
there. Yeah, this is a very temporary solution, but it'll do.
So, just another thing, Steve. I think that if we use those M4x20 socket heads that you had mentioned for the other pockets, I feel like they actually, I think they bottom out in this extrusion channel, so I don't think we can use those.
The what?
The M4, we were going to use like an M5 for the corner bigger hole that goes into the channel. For the other two, we were going to use M4x20s, and it looks like I think they bottom out in the channel. I don't think we can use them. So then the next size down is M412s, which I think might be too short. Let me try it with M4.
M4x20s are, here, let's see. M4x20 with remember there's a aluminum panel in between.
Oh, then we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we're good. Okay. Yeah, that was my bad. I forgot that definitely is. cool. Okay.
Yeah. John says, you feeling okay? Your voice sounds raspy. You know what? I've noticed that all stream, that I've noticed my own voice sounds a little odd, but I'm feeling fine. I don't know why. I was out in the yard digging and dusty, and I don't know if that did it, but it's
like sinuses or something like that?
Yeah, I'm not even stuffed up. So I'm not quite sure why. I noticed the same thing anyway.
I didn't really notice it, but now that you say it.
I was gonna try that. Now I need to try something else. Let me see. The part here is so tight. Let me see if I can push it in further now.
I'm gonna change camera to me, so I'm gonna start putting the feet on Steve.
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
still. Oh, yeah.
Yep,
I wasn't showing anything useful anyway.
Yep. Okay. I just want to make sure that the CAD. Okay, so the holes in the bottom need to be facing the front. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Okay.
Nope, that's not gonna work either. Darn it.
I think we maybe hold off on the panels. The bottom. I'm just looking right now and counting, and if I do screws in the feet, and then I don't have screws for the center holes, which I guess we can skip the center holes. Maybe they're in the CAD. I'm not sure. Looking at the CAD right now, they don't have screws in the bottom panel center holes. So I don't know what purpose they serve. I would imagine they're there to have bolts in them. But the issue is if we could put bolts in them, we don't have enough screws, but we do have enough for the feet. So I'm thinking I just do the feet. The feet should be enough.
Feet will hold it in.
Yeah, I think that's, so I think those are, we'll just leave those other holes empty.
I don't feel like I've got tremors. Someone says tremors. I think I'm doing okay there. Okay, I've got a solution for my feet. I can get past this.
Okay, cool, great. Is it some form of shimming or what? What is?
Yeah, yeah. And I had to, in order to get the nuts into the printed part, because there is definitely some over extrusion or something going on here.
Yeah, your parts definitely have over extrusion compared to the parts I got in. You showed it a couple times, like your belt ties or whatever were really tight when mine were fine as well.
Yeah.
Like the belt locks. Okay, so I'm just gonna load. Maybe I will try the spring nuts on the bottom then, Steve, since I don't care really that much if I.
Yeah.
Wait, what am I doing wrong? I don't care that much if I scratch the bottom. Like that, I'm willing to risk it on the bottom. If I scratch up the inside of the extrusion, yeah, so let's do that actually. Let's not preload these. Let's place this right here on top. And let's see if we can get, we'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And direction doesn't matter, so we'll do like this. There we go. Will it sag? Will it sag when you turn it the right way up? You're saying the bottom panel if not supported in the center? It's possible, but I kind of don't think so.
It's a 3mm panel.
Yeah, I don't think so.
3mm aluminum.
The gap's not that big. I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, this is something that can be, you know, we could always sneak some screws in later. But I think it'll probably be fine as well. Oh, Steve, I'm doing it.
What's that?
I'm doing it. You'd be so proud. I'm getting these.
You're getting them in?
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
It's not even, I don't know if it's just these bottom ones are like being nicer to me or what the deal is, but they're really, Or maybe it's like this specific driver I happen to grab. It's a, oh, I don't know, I might have smeared it off, but I think it's a 3mm driver. It seems like it's going perfectly in the screw hole, and then I just sort of, yeah, this is easier than it was before. We did also see though that because on the Mercury 1 build, there was a similar thing where some of the channels were like T slot versus B slot, and
oh yeah,
yeah, one of them was like impossible. I was like sitting over there struggling, and then I realized, oh, this one's got curved, like, you know, sort of like it complements turning the little nut in the pocket, while the other one is putting up a complete fight. So I don't know. Oh, come on, the last two.
Okay, now, okay, so I got 1 foot in. Now I've got.
You both are doing great. Thank you, Zombie. What's your latest thing you're doing, Zombie? I think you finished up the tiny T with the backpack, or the sidecar thing. I'm almost positive you finished that.
Okay, spacers and feet. Where'd the rest of the feet go? We are going to get this panel on one way or another.
Yeah. So help me. So help me, Steve. All right. Daniel just fell in love with the spring nuts. And it was in that moment Daniel knew he loved the spring nuts.
Conquering your aversion.
That's what it's all about. We're baby steps, you know, one small step for Dan Kind. All right, that one looks good. Oh, let's align these good. Oh. Looks good.
So what it basically means is I need to print spacers for these feet that are 3mm thicker. So I need 8mm spacers for these feet in order for things to line up properly.
And you've only got 5mm that came with it, you're saying? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Those are looking pretty. Oh yeah.
I got an orange V0 frame from LDO to match me. To match which? I only have one.
Orange V0 frame. Oh, sick. Is that your next build you're doing? Print3d is printing. Working with KB3D for the final panels. Awesome. Sick.
Okay.
All right. I'm installing the big boys in the corner.
Feet are on those, so now I can turn this on its side, right?
Yep.
Shoot. Let's just go to one of the sides. Then we need T-nuts in each corner.
T-nut, yeah, so 2 per corner.
It's gonna look so much better on its feet.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna really. Oh. I took the last 2 bolts. I took the last 2 bolts out of here, and because like my brain, like I don't know, I'm just like I'm hitting a little bit of a wall. I took the bolts out and instantly threw my tray into the trash. And so I looked down in the trash and I was like, that's not right. These are for keeps. Yeah, just getting a little silly. I was working on, I told you before this, but like a V0 thing as well. And so it's been pretty much since I got up this morning, like nonstop technical building. And so I think my brain is just kind of like, all right, Dan, like it's time to watch some Family Guy or something like that.
It's not only 3 hours at this point, is it? Has it only been 3 hours?
Into this build?
Yeah.
Today with you? So we started at 1. It's 3 hours and 9 minutes, dude. It's 3 hours and 9 minutes only.
I thought we were close to 4.
No. You're saying today is the only day where it's actually felt like a long build with me, Steve?
It does feel like it's been longer. That's weird.
Yeah. T-nut tolerance is very widely. Some go in like a breeze and some... Tuxedo, that's because of the extrusions there, right? I think that's what Steve and...
Both. T-nut...
Oh, what is... I think I'm doing something wrong.
What?
So I'm installing M5 by 25 socket heads to these big corner bolts, and it seems like it's hitting a point where it's no longer spinning.
No longer threading in?
Yeah, let me see what's the same on the other ones. Nope. It's not the same on the other ones. Oh, they're all stopping short though.
What's the fastener supposed to be? An M5 by what?
I did M525, which I swore is what it said in the
I got the CAD open right now.
Yeah, click on the bolt and see that, verify that that's what it is, please.
So it's M5 by 25. And that's what came in the kit. 4 of them.
Is it normal to have to just sort of like
Do you have the aluminum panel on?
Yeah.
And it's
Steve. Steve.
Yeah.
I didn't put my feet. There's no feet on. I have no feet on. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I think today's a 3-hour stream.
Dude, yeah. I think that if we were to move on to any kind of electrical, this would be like my last stream ever. Like I would hurt myself. Oh my gosh. I'm like looking around. I'm like, something just doesn't seem right. That's
hilarious.
God. That's awesome. I should have known when I threw the, I think me throwing those trays in the trash is what really threw me off. Man, I was doing so good this stream, like not doing anything super silly, and then I had to go and just screw the whole thing up. All right.
Yeah, every one of these.
Oh, Jesus.
Like I said, someone at Mellow has butterfingers.
Yeah.
Because every one of these panels has been dropped, and it's really dropped post cutting. This isn't something that happened. This is like, it's just the same kind of edge. It's never going to be seen. Okay, where do those holes in the bottom panel go towards? Towards
the holes go towards the front. Yeah.
Towards the front. Okay.
Oh my god. Where's there. Yeah, I definitely don't want to do anything technical new after this for the rest of the day. I don't think this is it. Like I'm sort of cashed. Like a PB&J and chill sounds about right for my my future. Oh man.
Yeah,
there we go.
Definitely could do with some more care of the panel handling. And I know we've come across a lot of nitpicks on this today. It's just, I think it's just all kind of added up.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be hash on Mellow or whatever vibe.
Yeah, I think the issue is that based off of like we did prep for this and we had such like this is what we're doing, and like the things that prevented it are real silly. Like it was one thing when it was the one screw, but like it just seems like a big part of the kit needs a once over. Honestly, you know, like in reality, like that's just really what I'm feeling. So it's certainly like, I mean, again, I think the end result's going to be awesome, but it's just like in a kit like this, knowing that this is not in beta, like it shouldn't, these things shouldn't be happening.
And this definitely isn't first. This is second round of builds.
Yeah.
This isn't like the first round of, hey, there be dragons.
Yep.
We did our best, but let us know what we missed.
Well, yeah, we specifically held off to not do that, right? Like, so.
Yeah.
Are you telling me? Hold on a second. Did I not align my T-nuts correctly? Needs spares of heart. Yes, definitely spares. Zombie says, isn't that what this build is for? Beta testing the kit. It's not supposed to be. It was not supposed to be. I mean, again, some little things, sure, but there's quite a few things adding up.
That is definitely, if anything, another thing that needs to come up. The exact number of fasteners, it is minimal extra cost to add extra fasteners.
Yeah, most kits I built come with plenty
really
for like mods and all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, they definitely shouldn't be pinching on the fasteners. It says test kit on the Mellow site. Interesting.
And I get that still, but some of the things sound like they've been mentioned and maybe didn't make it into this round.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it too is, for, at least with some of your stuff, well, the printed parts, right? Like, because we went through the Easy VZ program, I think we sort of assumed that the printed parts would be the correct printed parts for what we were building, which has not exactly been the case. So it's sort of cumulative, I think, of, you know, both sort of sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm just lining up all the
peanuts
fasteners
for the, yeah.
for the bottom panel for the feet.
Extra
There we
fasteners
go.
is a must. Yeah, I agree. All right, I got 2 of my feet on. The feet stick out a bit, so just be careful. I'm sure you'll see it, but when you turn it, I'm gonna try to be kind of gentle with it, so I don't let them take
Oh, the
too much.
feet. The feet are bigger than the
Oh
base.
shit! Yeah. I dropped my feet. Okay, and it's starting to get heavy, man.
So close.
It's starting to get heavy. Okay. There we go. Nope, I'm on it right now. It says test kit.
What's that? Oh.
Mellow remove the beta kit. So they're just saying that, like, it does say test kit on the.
Still says test kit.
Yeah, apparently. Oh. Okay. Let me make sure my nuts are good. They look good. Where? Oh.
George, this is our first highly completed kit test version. There may be problems with some parts. Please don't worry, we'll help you solve it. Is that the quote? I hope you were mentally prepared before purchasing to help us improve the kit. This is a DIY kit. This is more about testing the ability of customers. Says it highlighted and in bold at the very beginning. Well, that's good. At least it's there. But still, let's
Close the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it doesn't need to be. Like, the components in here are really high quality. You know, like we were talking about the CNC stuff, like, they're making really high quality stuff for it. And at the price point too, you know, like
CNC stuff is
really
so
nice.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
Why is that not going? There we go.
Hey, you're in some. Hi. S? S? The S? Yeah.
Okay, 1 foot is on. Woohoo.
I'm on the final countdown.
Not defending the printer, but I've learned a lot from it.
Not for printer, but I have fun. Yeah. Somebody needs to get Steve gummies to Wusa.
I'm getting hangry.
Yeah, I feel that. Oh, let me make sure that these last couple, yep, they're lined up perfectly. Uh-oh. Oh no, I've got perfect amount of bolts. I was like worried that I was missing just one. All right.
Okay. So I guess I need to hang this over the edge to do the other feet, or stick it on its.
I just like leaned it on those 2 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it seems like it's okay. I'll let you know if anything breaks off, but it seemed like it supported the weight. Okay, being at that angle.
Let's go to the edge here. The I've got all mine still loose, so I don't want it to just
gotcha.
so everything lines up right.
All right, final tilt or final turning of the corner bolts. Might wait for the water-cooled version, makes it different to the others. But I mean, for the water-cooled version, I would imagine the only differences would be what, like a mounting point for the water-cooled loop, and then the tool head itself. Unless Vez is planning on including like water-cooled stepper, like the stepper mounts or whatever that I think I've seen him showing off. Okay, I'm gonna lift this up. All right, let's see. Nice. Can't really see. The camera like cuts off right where I'm, oh, there, you can see the feet on that side. It looks good. It definitely like ties the printer together, having that orange down there. And I like,
yeah,
I like that they're low profile. Actually, it's sort of cool. It almost reminds me of like a car, like a street car with like stance, you know, like the tires all low. It's a neat. It's just different than I think any of the feet I've installed on any other printer. So, hey, Kyle's and H is in the house.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, I definitely, I don't want to drill through this VZ logo on the back panel.
We're not going to have to.
Yeah, okay.
We'll be able to go to the side of it. I think we still probably should drill a couple of holes in it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I just,
It'll just be off to the side.
That is looking good. Yeah, it's looking awesome, especially with the tool head in place. I mean, shoot, this is really... Other than installing the bed, yeah, other than installing the bed, it's really electronics after this. Once we do the few tweaks on the tool head that we need to do. Just so I'm recapping right now, Steve, on the tool head, the things that we need are strictly okay. Yeah, it's just printed parts, and then it's the that screw, the 2.5 by 5 wafer head. It kind of sucks. For the printed parts, I don't have any carbon ASA or ABS here, so I'm probably gonna do carbon. I think I'm just end up doing that Fadis carbon fiber PTG that I got in the super high temps.
Glass filled stuff.
Yeah, no, it's carbon fiber. I just did. It's PET, but it has way higher heat deflection than ABS does. It's a super modified.
What are you gonna use it for?
For the fan
ducts.
shroud. The ducts, yeah, the ducts and the standoffs, yeah. Just because I don't want it to go with orange. What color orange is that? This is Polymaker ABS Galaxy series. It's gorgeous. It's a really nice orange, but it also has sparkles in it. I can show you actually. Let me go side. I think I can hit the light. If the light hits it just right.
Let's see. This looks good.
Yeah, you can see the sparkles on it, Kyle. It's got little glittery sparkles in it, so kind of hides layer lines a little bit, but also just gives it a nice little pop. Yeah, yours looks good, Steve.
Yeah.
The green looks nice.
Pretty pleased.
You reprinted those feet in green, right? You said you got them in black when...
No.
Oh, okay. That's
they printed them in.
Yeah, it does look good. It's so nice having that little bit of color on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that orange doing the orange frame V0 in it. Yeah, it's really. Didn't you use this orange on another build too, Zombie? I feel like on your Trident, I thought you had some of it on there.
Okay.
He's trying a Galaxy line. Yeah, it's really, really nice. What do you think, Steve?
Well, the only other thing we had talked about getting to is that rear exhaust fan. Is it worth trying to put that together?
I don't feel like putting it
You
together.
don't feel like it?
No,
I don't blame you.
What's up, Jack? I want to... He's smiling at me. He's laughing at me. Little cutie pie. He's shirtless,
Jackson
though,
sighting?
Yeah, he's in diapers. Did he? All right, I'm gonna show Baby Jackson diapers, but I'm gonna bring him out. Let's end the stream on a laugh. Like,
yeah.
All right, come on, Bubby. He just got home. Is it nap time for him after this? Yeah. Yeah. All right, come on, kiddo. Oh, look at the VZBot, Bubs. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, look how handsome this little man is, dude. Look at dude.
Still love the thighs.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, they love your thighs, bubs. Yeah, yeah, they love your thighs.
Baby rolls.
He's our little, yeah. He's our little Hawaiian roll boy. Bubs. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think, kid? What do you think? He's been touching my beard a lot lately, which I don't mind, but he's learned how to pull pretty well, and I do mind that. I trimmed it the other day in hopes that like he wouldn't be able to get a good grip on it, but this morning he freaking like I keep joking around saying we're gonna get him at like Muscle Baby Beach or something like that. The kid's just like got real strong arms, and like his kicks too. We had to move around stuff on his table because he was like his changing table. He was just smacking him off the table. You say bye to Steve? He's looking at the TV. Hold on.
I didn't have a.
Say bye, Steve. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
I didn't have a beard when my son was that small.
Oh, really? Yeah, probably for the best. I mean, Erin cut her haircut. She cut it. It was much longer when he was born, and she quickly was like, "I'm over it," because he just kept tugging on it, dude. So, yeah, but I'm still happy with the progress we made. Again, I wish that obviously that the tool head was in a bit better of a place, because we do have to take quite a bit of it apart, but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Shami, for his first college printer fund.
We ran into some frustrations today, but if the result of that is actionable feedback to Mellow, and they take that and improve the kit, then it'll be worth it.
Yeah, agreed.
So
I mean, again, we'll be good. I think it's a little bit cumulative. Today it was like sort of like I think every stream we've had like a little bit of a thing, right? And it's sort of, but today it was like smack, this isn't right, smack, you're missing the screws, smack, like, you know, like it was like it's what I said yesterday, right? The pebbles equal a lot of weight after a bit, and it's kind of like one of those scenarios. But
definitely,
the printers are looking freaking awesome, and
they do look great.
Yeah, Sunday when we stream. I mean, the game plan, if you're cool with it, Steve, just so that way I mention it, I would love to have the tool head, if we can, done before stream on Sunday, like if at all possible, like the
tool head done before stream.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, cause like the shroud swapped out and the two bolts being corrected, so that way on Sunday stream we can cool.
Yeah, we covered the full install on camera.
Yeah, there's no need to revisit
We'll replace those screws and put it back in off camera. Yeah.
Yep. So that way, yeah, I guess the game plan then Sunday stream would be to do the filter housing on the back. Oh, my screws are loose. I tapped the back panel and it's rattling. I didn't tighten any of the top screws. That's funny. Luckily, it's just the panel. And then so we can start Sunday. And I think Sunday it's mainly going to be mounting electronics then, right? I mean, other than the filter, it's sort of the next thing.
Yeah, we're going to.
That's going to be interesting though, because the DIN rails and drilling, is that something that me and you need to figure out prior to that then, so that way we can already have it pre-drilled?
Yeah, that's going to be pretty. That's going to be pretty easy.
Okay. Cool.
We'll locate those spots. We'll mark it on the back, and then a couple of 4mm holes.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. But yeah, I'm happy with. Again, I think it looks nice having the panels on and the feet on and the Goliath in place. Like today's stuff really tied the printer together. It feels like, wow, these guys are actually making pretty good progress. They might actually finish this, at some point.
Yeah.
So
it's looking, I mean, it's with the panels on it really, and the feet on it really does look more like a close to complete printer.
Yep.
And I'm glad to hear, I'm glad someone confirmed that the listing for that still has in bold letters. This is something that's not 100%.
Yeah.
We want people to buy it who are willing to work through the problems and give some feedback. Whether that's the best way to do it or not, it's a hobbyist printer design, right? I
mean, to be perfectly honest with you, it makes me feel a little bit better about the whole situation, because I wasn't aware of that. Like, since like we originally had stated that we didn't want to do like the beta, we wanted to wait for the final release, that way we can sort of show what it's like. And so maybe there was a little bit of misunderstanding that like this is final retail versus no, this is sort of just phase 2 of the trial run. So at least again, knowing that they're stating that up front, and now that we know that that's clear, again, it's still, of course, we want things to be as close to complete, but it feels better knowing that that's something that they're stating up front versus like, oh no, they're just selling it as this complete thing when it's in reality, you know, not fully baked yet.
Yep. So, we can handle it.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So, I mean, man, I'm gonna go a little split action, but I think that in reality, like, there's probably not much left today. I again, one more time, want to say a big thank you to both Mellow and its Print3d Shop.
Print3dshop.org. Yep.
.org for providing the kits for this build. The end result's going to be awesome, and every stream we're getting a little bit closer to that finish line. So thank you to both of them for providing the kits. Thank you to Polymaker for allowing us to do the filament giveaway. Thank you for everyone for hanging out and all of today was probably my biggest, today was my biggest member day. So thank you everyone for all of the gifted memberships and renewals and the donations. Like, it's absolutely super appreciated. And yes, thank you all for being awesome. Even the likes, dude. We hit 200 likes before the freaking wheel spins. I don't think we've ever done that on our stream instead of like one of the big, like, you know, giveaway things that I've really promoted. So that was very cool to see. But yeah, I appreciate it, and I want to make sure that anyone that just is seeing the stream for the first time, they're aware that this Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time will be the next part of this stream series over on Steve's channel, which is Steve Builds, and it's in the description down below. So if you're available Sunday, we would love to have you, but just again, be aware that it's on his channel on Sundays, and the link is in the description. So
it'll get posted to Twitter and both of our Discords, and
probably in the next 24 hours, you know, something like that. So, yeah. Is there anything you want to say, Steve, as a sort of final?
No, just thanks for being here. Thanks for everything. We like we've said over and over, we ran into a couple little hiccups here today, but we'll get past them. And we'll be back next week or on Sunday with hopefully delving into electronics.
Also, audio, everyone, I think it seems I didn't hear any complaints about audio today, which feels so nice after last Wednesday's stream. So I think that the solution we've got with your mic and all of this is the winner.
The problem was on my end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, it was. I was trying to think of like a way to soften it. It was Steve's fault.
It was.
So
I'm curious if my audio in my general streams is going to be improved.
We'll find out Sunday. Imagine everyone's like, "Wow, Steve!" Like, you start getting all these offers for like voiceover work and stuff like that. Maybe you're not raspy. It's just your actual voice is raspy.
Actual voice.
So, all right, all have a wonderful rest of your days or nights. And again, hopefully we'll see you on Sunday. And hopefully we'll see you on Sunday.